Man, okay. You know what I mean? Live
I
from
love.
everywhere. It's Saturday night. Live. Intellectual style. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Man, it's intellectually embracing Smitty's Corner.
Uh-huh.
Episode 13. You know what I mean? As you see in the ticker, please like and subscribe to all the channels you see. Smitty's Corner, Embrace the Grace, Evolution Era Media, okay? Please show them some love. You know what I mean? If you want to subscribe here, you can. You know what I mean? You know, I never ask y'all like and subscribe. I never do that. That just ain't my style. You know what I mean? If y'all want to rock, rock. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? I'm cool either way. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna be doing what I do no matter what. So it is what it is. But yes, we are here. Okay. Let me give a quick, you know what I mean? Take a quick pause for the cause because I know that y'all been up in here putting your comments and you're here bright and early, and I appreciate that, yo. For real, for real. Salute to our sister Foxy Moon premieres.
Nigga, they ain't
Salute
early,
to,
we
you
late.
know what I'm saying? Hey, come on, man. You know what I mean?
What?
Salute to Foxy Moon premieres. You know what I mean? Also, the one and only doctor in the YouTube street, Dr. Nakumbe. You know what I mean? Thank you for the support, brother. Appreciate you, appreciate you. Much love. Oh man, salute to the number one, you know, lady and definitely OG in our space, man, Lady Phoenix. Salute to you, Lady Phoenix. I'm glad that you're up in here. Salute to the homie Stan Joseph. Good morning, Stan. I'm glad you are here as well. You know what I'm saying? And put up your comments. You know what I mean? Grace giving a shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? As she should. You know, as well. You guys know the StreamYard is pinned in our chat, okay? And it's in all the other chats across the network. So, you know what I mean? You definitely see the StreamYard. Definitely come up if you like. Salute to everybody, you know, that's watching. Also, salute to Lola. You know what I mean? Glad that you're up in the building. Salute, salute. You know what I'm saying? Black Files will be coming back very, very soon for y'all, okay? So please be ready. You know what I mean? Also, salute to our man Grizz. Grizz, what's going on, baby? You know what I mean? You know, thank you for sharing the channel on Facebook. We definitely Okay, now let me get to my peoples, man. No, might be struggling streaming a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Now, let me get to my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Number one, definitely, you know, ladies first. Salute to Grace. You know what I mean? Grace is in the building. And also we got Smitty. So, family, what's good, man? Talk to us. What's going on?
Ladies
Nothing.
first.
Just chilling. Just got off work at 9 o'clock and got to put in the grind here. You guys know I'm in Grace from Embrace the Grace, and I'm chilling with my family right now.
You already know, bro. Any day I wake up, nothing to complain about. I swear, shit just keep getting better and better. I digress. My mic is muted. Let's get to it.
Also, salute
Is
to the best moderator in the world, Tika. Tika, what's going on? I'm glad you're in the building. Also, salute to M3. You know what I'm saying? I think M3 is watching. I'm not really sure, but if he is, you know what I mean? Salute, salute, salute. And definitely check out the broadcast he did earlier with him and Sophisticated Jerk. Okay, check them out. You know what I mean? They had a pretty good broadcast. You know what I mean? I was catching some Z's kind of during that time, y'all. You know what I mean? But definitely had to show my support in the comments still. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get some good sleep doing this one to y'all
hey.
for
So, what
real.
did you do to your top flight? What did you do to your top flight? I'm gonna be good today. What you? Goddamn, what you do?
Nah, man, I don't know what's going on with Tika. I don't know. I have no
What you
idea. She
do?
put the emoji. Tika, hey Tika, you can come up anytime and explain yourself if you want. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, man, just
Here we
that ain't got
go.
nothing to do with me. I didn't do nothing. I don't know. So, you know what I mean? I ain't do nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm about
So
to
I
say,
just
teach me your secret, player.
I went to sleep and I went out. I got me something to eat, got me a milk tea, and I came home. That's exactly what I've done. You know what I'm saying? That's been my whole day. So I don't know
I'm gonna
what's
try
going
that. I'm gonna try that shit. See if it work. I don't know. See if I just get.
on.
See if I get him just
um,
fall in line for me and shit.
but yeah, I'm gonna start off with a video first, all right? And then I know Smitty got some questions, but we're gonna start with this video first, all right? Now this video I'm about to play, okay? Listen, as always, you already know when I play videos, it's very introspective yet controversial, okay? And I meant for it to be that way. And I want everybody to share their expertise, share their thoughts, whether you're in the chat or if you decide to come up on the panel. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about this video I'm about to play. You know what I mean? Fair use as always. Let me share my screen real quick. You know what I'm saying? Where's my share screen at? Okay, here we go. All right. Let me mute myself. Everybody.
First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word. All right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all that the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you. And if that's what you're afraid of, then tell us that just what you're afraid of. But don't keep hiding it from us and holding this up to us. And every time we ask you for something, you give us a little bit of something. And it's all tokenism. We don't want tokenism. And there are most black men in this world that don't want charity. And yet still every time we ask you for something, you give us a little piece, a little piece. You're playing games with us. We're not children. We're big men. I've seen my father have to put up with all kinds of stuff. He was a big man. He raised a family. He went down south, and he had to go around to the bank door with his wife. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for any favors. All we want is what's ours. Now, there are many black... First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your...
Okay. Yeah, I know I'm coming with a banger off top. I'm not even waiting for it. Oh, man, what y'all thinking, family? You know what I mean? Also, salute to Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Salute. What y'all think about that video? That brother was dropping the bomb. He wasn't playing. He was coming in strong.
Go ahead, Gracie, because...
Okay, I know you still marinating in that one. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome because there's so much truth and reality. This was the same exact thing that I was trying to get my point across when I was talking to Flo. You see how it connects? Do you remember that, Smitty and so?
Yes, man, we remember. And,
okay, so
definitely shout out to Flow State. I know he did. I know he played the video again just to kind of show. You know what I'm saying? The video. Salute to Flow State. But definitely, you know what I mean. I know y'all had y'all debating. Salute to my man M3 in the building. What's going on? Like I said, check out Knowledge of Relationships live. That was earlier. But go ahead, Grace, my bad.
So I just want to say that this just reinforces exactly what my point that I was trying to get across with Flo. 2, that's exactly what they do. They throw crumbs. They do just enough and say just enough to appease us. But that shit is getting old. You know, I have seen and heard that other races and religions get reparations for their suffering and their, what they went through. Why is it that it's a problem with the melanated community? What is it? What is going on, y'all? Seriously, everybody can get their slice of the pie. Why can't we? Shit, we cook the sweet potato pie and we can't even get a slice of it? Man, this was deep. And if it makes me feel that way, I can only imagine how it makes, somebody that's 100% African American. I can't even imagine how y'all feel and the things that y'all went through. And this is some real shit, Soap, and I'm glad you brought it up. It proved my point, and I digress. My mic is muted.
All right, Smitty, it's on you, gang.
Respect. Salute to the last dragon in the building. Lola, how are you, beloved? All is well?
Hey, how are you?
All right, all right. Man. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's kick it off. Let's get it going. Bravo. Ha! Bravo. Beautiful emotion. Oh man, that was gorgeous. All right. Look, fact is this. One, I am paying attention. Now, unless that's graphics, which I don't think it is. Judging by the brother's hairline in the front, that's back in around the 70s or so, 60s or some shit. Okay, cool. The thing is that one, we're looking at something that, okay, maybe when he was saying that, that was the case. The fact is that that's not the case anymore. We are definitely in a position where now I will look at it more so as the playing field's a lot more even. We have the same opportunities that everybody else has. We just listen. I look at it like just like how we say men got certain jobs and we get certain career paychecks because of the career field choices we choose to go in. Women don't want to do like coal mining and shit like that and underwater type of things. So men get this type of check. Well, the way I look at it is this, damn it. The same thing with us as blacks and even for whites. We have the same damn opportunity. The gate opens up the same for all of us at this point for the most part. You got disenfranchised blacks, you got disenfranchised whites. You have folks like us with where it's like Flavor of Love, and then you have Duck Dynasty. My point is, when it says why don't you give us this opportunity, I'm gonna be honest, I'm sick and fucking tired of hearing us beg and ask other motherfuckers for shit. We say that the white man stole everything from us, but we refuse to take that shit back. Heck, you know how you can take it back? Possibly. I don't know. Do the same thing they did. Just study their ass. Just pay attention, observe. What are they doing? How are they doing it? And then do it better. We've been asking for shit for so long. When is it going to sink in? They're not giving us shit. You heard the man on the video. Oh yeah, you just keep on bird feeding us, giving us some. Duh, that's how you keep them. What are you talking about? That's part of it. Yes, that's how it goes. When we gonna start bird feeding them? Largest consumers in this goddamn country. Okay. Without us in entertainment, sports, all of these things, it'll flop instantly. Let every single black actor, actress, and athlete say, we're not coming to work tomorrow. You niggas don't realize the power that we hold. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out. Go ahead, Lola.
Hold on. Before she speaks, hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Wait, where is it? Damn, I have a lot of stuff on here. Where the hell? Oh, I see it.
The lords of Westeros are sheep. Are you a sheep? No. You're a dragon. Be a dragon.
I love playing that intro. And before she even says anything, we do have a challenge to her already off the top.
Listen to me. Wait, hold on. Wait, listen to me. Who that individual already knows that I am out of town and I cannot cam up. Okay. He already knows. I don't even know why he acting funny. He better stop that shit. He better stop. Yeah, that one. He knows. I don't even know why he playing. Stop playing out here in these streets. Okay. Y'all hear I'm in this damn bed. Anyway, okay, so I'm piggybacking off of Smitty. But you know, when I heard that recording, I was like, oh hell no. No, not today, not ever. I had to come up. I said, they fit to make me go off and shit on them old people. But I ain't gonna mention old people. Let me get to it. All right, so he up there complaining about why he can't get his slice of the pie, right? And I'm here to tell him that ain't no goddamn pies out here. Ain't no pies out here. Like, seriously. And to Smitty's point, you really don't understand the system that you were in when you literally sit there and say, when are you going to keep your word that you're going to relinquish essentially power to me? What is going on here? Like, what are we really doing? I don't understand. So my thing is, and I'm not ashamed of it. If we comfortable in America, because honestly, it's like the best place to be and shit. And we really don't have a reason to rebel back and take over and do some more extra shit with it. And we really just want our taxes lowered a little bit and some property that we can just kind of call our own and shit. And that's it. And then the banks that leave us alone on a few things. If that's really all we want, let's just be honest and say that. But this whole, you know what I mean? When am I going to get my chance to shine? Shit, that the white man holding me down and da. No, that it wasn't like that back then. And it's not like that now. Nobody was holding you back, okay? The last time black people was being held back was prior to 1859. And even then, you can kind of argue something else, but I'm not gonna go there. After 1859, listen, life, it wasn't never meant to be easy for you. But I'm sorry, but when Martin Luther King wanted to integrate, a lot of black businesses tanked because now the integration meant that, you know, people wanted the white man's ice. And that's what happened. So, you know, we don't have nobody to blame but ourselves because of our own issues. So, no, I don't want to hear about that shit. And even back then, look, you had family back then. Back then, you had more black businesses, right? You didn't have social media back then. So your whole community was your platform. I don't want to hear no shit, okay? Because this is what we call being bitch made, okay? Now I get it, you know, it was back in the day. He looks like he could have been like 19 years old and he frustrated because he can't find a job. But this is the problem. Like he mentioned, his grandfather and his great grandfather, they always had a job because they knew how to get out in them goddamn fields and make shit for themselves. He wants somebody to hand him some shit. So I don't have no fucking I don't have no regard for these niggas. I really don't. And as far as people today in 2024 talking like that, nigga, fuck you. Okay? You ain't gonna get shit. And no, your tears don't mean shit. Cry me a river. Y'all go ahead. That's what I got to say about that.
Hey, but briefly though, I just forgot this one piece, and then M3, go ahead, rock out. Salute to you, brother. Good to see you. Even down to Lola, I forgot this point too. I'm sitting there and I'm listening to him, right? I'm like, he has a microphone. He's able to express this. Once upon a time, we weren't allowed to read or look them folks in the eye. So even then, from when he was saying whatever he was saying, apparently he's in a time and a space where there's opportunity. And I just believe that you might be missing that while you sitting up here trying to complain to these folks about what they should give you. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Yeah, all day. Facts.
Okay, I kind of missed like a good portion because I was in the process of editing and I just uploaded.
We talking about niggas crying for shit.
Oh, fuck that crying shit. You know, I mean, this is like, you know, a new era. You have like a lot of like resources that you could really do now these days, and I get it. You know, there's still like, you know, some exceptions, meaning that like, okay, you're gonna find companies where they're gonna hire their own people. You know what I mean? And you're just gonna have to pretty much like try to find, other companies that's gonna really accept you for like, your skills and not for like, your race. But at the same time, it's like, we can't like, sit around and use that as a excuse or a clutch where we're not like doing the work on our own selves. And a lot of times when people mostly complain, they're not really doing the work anyways to really try and improve and really try and get their foot in the door, At the same time, as well, in most cases, it's not about like, how much you know, but it's about who you know as well too. So, building relationships with certain people, regardless of like, like your race or gender or whatever, if you could get along with that person likes you enough to put you in the door, then you have a good chance of doing something. So that's my 2 cents.
You know what? So can I ask because I swear one of my questions falls right in line with this. I want to ask a question.
Hold on.
All right, go ahead, rock out. Do what you got to do.
It's not going to filet mignon on this shit. Now, listen. Obviously, most people didn't pay attention to the video, which most of you don't pay attention to a lot of detail, and that's fine. That's why I'm here. Now, with that being said, right, this man did not ask, nor did he say that he wasn't willing to work hard. He even said that most of us don't even want nobody to give us anything off top. So he ain't looking for a handout.
No, he didn't. He said, when am I going to get my slice of the pie?
Everybody has a chance to talk. It's my turn. It's my turn. All right? Don't get mad because Jordan is in the air. You can't block the dunk. Just move out the way. Now, with that being said, right? You know what I mean? With that being said, right? He even said like his father's worked hard. You know what I mean? And he's worked hard as well, right? And with that being said, and Tika, I'm gonna get you a comment because it's kind of, rolls in my mind a little bit, but I'm gonna digress and keep going on my spiel, right? So he's already letting it be known that he's not looking for anything for anybody. You know what I'm saying? What he's asking for is for people to stop playing around and stop saying that you're going to do something or you're going to have amendments or you're going to have different things that you want to give us and that you're promising us, or that you're saying, okay, cool, you have equal opportunities. Okay, we passed this bill. We passed that bill. We amended this, we amended that, and you're not sticking to it. And if you're not going to stick to it, then just let it be known you don't want to stick to it. Let it be known what you want to do and what you don't want to do systematically and what you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? As Grace said, accountability, right? That she put that in there. Accountability, right? So we already know, even in 2024, we still have redlining, we still have racial inequality, we still have police injustice, we still have all these things, right? These things are just systematically what it's a part of. Now, I am not saying that we should not work to attest to get what we want or what we're trying to strive for. That's why I have that little plaque sitting up on top of my fireplace of me working in my field and me trying to basically extend myself in my career. I scholastically and academically have put myself in a position where I can be my best in my career. Then even then, I still have documentation that I can still get and still do to make myself a lot better. You know what I mean? Salute to Braxton, the Snake Fiend. What's good, family? Much love. With that being said, even with all that, this is the problem with us, right? We get a little bit of crumbs. Or a matter of fact, I always tell Negroes this. Y'all sitting at the kiddie table. Y'all never sitting at the adult table. You're sitting at the kiddie table. So, yes, they'll give you some money. Yes, they'll put you in some positions. Yes, they'll let you drive certain cars. Yes, you can have a house. Yes, you can have certain things. But best believe this, right? You will never have true liberation of freedom. Never. Never. I don't care how many planes you niggas get on. Because I've been riding planes since shit. I can't even tell you when. Early 2000s. Right? You know what I mean? I don't care how much money y'all get. I don't care what kind of luxuries you have. I done rode in every type of car, every type of this, every type of that. I done been from New York to Cali, Cali to New York, hand to hand, whatever. I done did it all. The Rock has done it all. I've done it all.
Wait, hold on. So.
Let me finish. God damn it, I'm having fun. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
With that being said, right? This is what we have to keep in mind, right? nobody disrespects a person. So we may have one person that works in a nice field or work in a tech field or whatever, right? What we have to keep in mind is this, right? The only thing that gives respect is nation. So if you are not united as a nation or as a people, you get no respect. Nobody in the world respects just a person. Okay? They respect nations. They respect the movement. So yes, that's something that we have to work on. We have to work on being unified. We have to work on being on one accord and on working together. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we know that things are not right. You know what I'm saying? If things were right, Tamir Rice would still be here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Sandra Bland would still be here if things were correct, right? Last time I checked. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop falling. We got to stop falling for, you know what I'm saying, the on the banana in the tailpipe, man. And it was that one brother too. He was sitting in his car. I think he was a nurse or whatever he was, and they just shot him for no reason. This was like about 2-3 years ago. Shot the brother for no reason. You know what I mean? And he was just reaching for his ID. But these are the things that we face, and we just got to be aware of this, man. Do not be fooled by fleeting luxuries in the bag, okay? You know what I mean? Do not be fooled just because you're able to do some things financially, or you're able to buy properties or anything like that. Please don't be fooled, okay? Because when the shit hit the fan and you really going through it, or you really need something passed, or like and 3 was trying to Philandro Castillo, exactly. When you're trying to make certain things happen, you know what I mean? Also salute to my homegirl, man. I got her, Breonna Taylor. I got her shirt in my closet. You know what I mean? Hardworking sister, career oriented, everything. Took out of here for no reason. You know what I mean? If we just do not remember these people who were in positions of doing the right thing, right? They were economically responsible. They were career oriented. They were doing the right thing. And if they still was not respected as citizens in this country, then how far have we really come? Let's just be honest. Before I let anybody else speak, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to the comments real quick, because I know y'all been chopping up in the comments, and I definitely want to show y'all respect. Okay? So Tika says, we are not on an even playing field. No matter how hard you blink those little eyes, the little ass eyes, Smitty. I don't know what's going on with you, Smitty, today. I have no idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. Grace says facts, accountability. Braxton giving the eyes. Say what you mean what you say. Facts. That's all we asking. Greetings to Braxton. Greetings to our sister Foxy Moon Premiere. I'm glad she checked in again. Salute. You know what I mean? Please like and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to everybody that's a YouTube channel on here. All right. Braxton says, right, vast majority of mandatory policies and blockades that were put in place towards FBAs still carries on until now. Yes, sir. You already know. Okay. Everybody else giving a love. Elijah McLean, yup. Salute. Tika says, it seems as though at the time that brother was speaking, they were still treating blacks as though they were still enslaved and unequal. Falling for the okie doke, yup. Braxton says, I think that was Philandro Castillo. He was reaching for his gun license or permit. I think he was right. I think you're right, brother. And Freddie Gray, too. Yeah, can't forget about our brother Freddie Gray. You know what I mean? You know, everybody giving a shout out. But go ahead, y'all can cook, man.
Yeah. Let me just say something real quick, though, right? Now, with the video, I didn't get a chance to see the video, right? Because, like I said, I was editing. So what I said definitely was in general. But at the same time, right, you know, when it comes to, like I said, like the luxuries, you know, and the truth that should just be out there. Like it would be better if, like, you know, the government and all the other like governmental officials, right, will actually be straightforward. But the name of the game is to pretty much to sell us the dream, so we could get distracted. It's like dangling that carrot in our face all the time, and then when we feel like we actually reach into a certain peak, that's when they got us. Because now you have another powerful black man or black sister that's pretty much thinking that we're high above the clouds because we got certain entities, certain things in our disposal, but really they could snatch that shit up at any time. And the easy way to snatch it up, allegations, or, you know, police brutality, violence and stuff. They have all kinds of ways to like giveth and taketh. But you'll never actually be up into like the elite level where there's bit my tongue, where they're really at. Even like guys like Jay, no disrespect to him, like Jay-Z, you know, everybody has mad respect for him, billionaire guy, you know, I mean, from the outside looking in, the guy's on top of the world. But you never know whenever they decide they may want to pull that plug away from him. So be careful, man, what you guys do. And that's it.
All right. Because that nigga ain't off the hook. So where you ass at? So, all right, we're going to let this thing rock out. What I want to know is this.
I'm right here.
All right.
I just had to step away for a second.
All right, you got your cereal, nigga? You good? You ready? All right, here we go. So let me ask you a question. All right, to go ahead and address you and your little top flight down there, okay? Because both y'all tripping, okay? And my eyes ain't little, and I don't blink a lot. Now,
What? Why you trying to stretch your eyes then?
stop it. I took that personal. Now, you said that you have these degrees, correct? So
Yes, sir. I have my my certificate in administration. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Any white people stop you from doing that?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
But
So, did any white people stop you from getting what you have accomplished so far?
Yes or no? But I'll answer that question more directly once you're done. Go ahead.
If you wanted to go further, Soap, would you be able to? And would white people stop you from going further, Soap, if you wanted to further your education, sir?
Oh, they'll take my money to get the certificate, of course. Yeah.
So, yes or no, sir? Don't be ruthless, sir. Yes or no?
I'm beyond ruthless.
If you wanted to further your education, if you wanted to further your education,
of course they'll take my money. What do you think? Yes.
Okay, so if you wanted to start a business, would white people stop you? Would they stop you from starting a business?
Oh, it depends where I'm at. Yeah, they could stop me.
Yeah, it's a thing that's called petitions.
Yes, sir.
My nigga, I'm not talking about if you over there in fucking Mayberry. Okay? Let's just say you in Niggerville. So, if you wanted to start a business.
You want me to be in the hood again? See what happened in MC? I ain't coming into the hood. You crazy. I come over there.
So you want to go out there where the petitions are?
Yes, that's why I'm gonna try to go. I'm not put. Listen, if I build something in the hood, it's gonna be a whole bunch of people with me when I go there and build it. I'm not going.
You do realize I see exactly through what you're trying to do, nigga. Now look, we're gonna get right back in the car. Right, we got somewhere to be. Stop playing with me. Now
let's go, Smitty. I'm here.
What I'm saying is everything that you've accomplished, not near one white person stopped you from doing. Whatever it is that you choose to do right now, today or tomorrow, as long as your dollars can afford it, ain't not near one white person stopping you. And when they talking about when shit hit the fan and everything else, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, you're thinking very, very minuscule. If you're thinking that when like the government goes ahead and says, we're just gonna, martial law, that ain't got nothing to do with white people. You think the government gonna be like, yeah, let's get all these white people too, these regular ass white people. You got life fucked up. That has everything to do with class. Has everything to do with status. The whole nine. When shit hits the fan, all that black versus white, y'all niggas tripping if you think that's where it stops. It's much deeper than that. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock.
Until I got see a foundation of highly successful black men hiring other black men, that's when I'll nod my head and say, amen, Smitty. But at the same time, here's the thing. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to play victim or whatever, because I'm not going to let nobody stop me from being successful. The only one that can stop me is me. Okay? But at the same time, we have limitations. We have obstacles. Let's never forget that. I digress. Respect.
Okay, respect. All right, this is what we're gonna do right now. Okay, all right. We're gonna cut through all the fat and get to the meat. Foxy, hold on, real quick. Foxy, Tika, y'all gonna talk all that shit. You gonna have to pull up here and speak your mind. I'm not reading shit else you gotta say, woman.
Oh wow. Well, ladies, y'all been called to the panel. I don't know if y'all want to come up here or not, but the link is pinned in the chat. Feel free to come up and express yourself. With that being said,
to the front office now.
Wow, Lord. Okay. Well, let's see if they oblige you. I think one of them probably will, but if not both, I will say this, and I'm gonna get you comments in a second, and I'm gonna give my salutes to everybody else who just checked in. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I've been able to get an education. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, even in my education, I've still faced a lot of racism. Okay. I've had racist jokes said to me, specifically about Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday. I've had a lot of different things happen to me that you have no idea about, Smitty. Okay, that I have not shared publicly. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yes. You know, I've had people interview me, or they want to interview me. I've done a Zoom call, and they found that I was black, and then they all of a sudden changed their mind and said somebody else got hired for the position when they were just interested in me. So yes, I've had a ton of stuff happen to me that y'all have no idea about, but it's fine. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory. I'm in a field that a lot of us ain't in, and it's all Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Because there are some people who don't care about that and who only care about who I am as a person, right? So that's perfectly fine, and I'll be okay. But I also know what can come and what can happen to me at any moment. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that.
Let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question. Did life itself
hold the question. Hold the question. Just hold the question for like 2 seconds. I want to get these comments because they get it's a lot of comments. I got to
go ahead. Talk to the people.
Salutations, Mimsy.
Salute to my man, Big Rick Slaps. Big Rick, I see you up in the building. What up? Okay. Let me go to
Salute,
Braxton. He said, right vast majority of these mandatory policies. Okay, I read that part. Man, y'all got so many comments. It's hard for me to keep up with y'all. Okay. All right, here we go. It seemed as though at that time that brother was speaking. Okay, I got to that one. Okay. I'm just trying to remember which ones I got to and which ones I didn't. Okay. Okay, there he goes. Okay. There's no black operator networks, not enough of them, particularly operated and controlled by black men. Like other groups of guys can control their networks. That's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Big Rick Slash, we all are going in. What up? You know what I mean? Help knowledge and relationships get to that 4,000. All right.
Thank you.
She said, yes, they can. Redlining. Okay. Tika says, they tried to tell us. Yes, they do. Also become a member at Knowledge and Relationships. Okay, memberships are active. All right, check us out. You know what I mean? Bryson says it just can't be Decatur, Georgia, or parts of Houston and Galveston, Texas. Okay. Y'all really on the train with me today. I see y'all.
I never even heard Decatur, Georgia.
Let's get it, baby. Yeah. Salute to Mimsy. Mimsy, what's going on? So Foxy says to you, Smitty, she's in the middle of a facial. Ha ha ha. All right. Braxton says, if you haven't seen a film, V vs. Vendetta, Mad Max Fury Road, and I got to see the new Mad Max is about to come out too. That joint looks fire. The Forever Purge, The Hunt, The Flu. I like how you put the years in here too. Salute to you, Braxton. Put the years, man. Man, I appreciate that. And the chat does too. All right, that's a South Korean film. The Purge election year, The Purge Anarchy, You Are Lost. Okay, you got the films. I'm enjoying Green Bay and San Francisco game bowl as well with everyone. And salute to the homie, man, JVJ Network. JVJ, what's good, bro? Salute, man. Much love to you. You already know what it is, bro. Anybody can shoot. Go ahead, man. We here. Let's get it.
All right, so look, right? Let me ask you this. So, did life, like nature, like just how the world is designed, did life create setbacks or did the white man? Let's at least get that down first.
Both.
This nigga here. All right. So white people created setbacks. So let me ask you this. Would you say that most black people, most of us, we definitely have this thing where we believe that God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes things can happen because maybe God, the Lord is directing you somewhere else you're supposed to be. Yes or no?
Yes, we do, but I also believe we rely too much on religion.
Nigga, you got more shit with you. Okay. So last part.
I got a lot. Right? Hey, yo, hey, you want to swim in this water? You better come deep, baby, because that's where we're going.
So look, right
here, it's deep water. This ain't shallow. Let's go.
I got you. That swampy ass shit.
Let me chime into this part, right? Because I like that question. But here's my answer to this.
Sorry, y'all.
More so.
Forgive me.
No, you good, right? Okay. Now look, I mean, we could say, white man, the Asian, whoever, like created obstacles, right? But you know what I'm looking more forward to? I'm looking more forward as in how they created a foundation for themselves, how they created a backup system for generations to come, for their people to continue to be born successful. You know what I mean? Well, to be born wealthy, but then yet to continue to raise them to be successful. And so, if anything, I want to emulate that for our people. I want our people of color to start learning the ins and outs, man, so we could start, putting the work in. We haven't even started, to be honest with you.
M3, can I interject something real quick on that point?
Go ahead.
Okay, I do understand what you mean by, looking at what they did to understand how they created a foundation. However, their foundation was based on centuries of free, let me repeat, free labor. If black people had centuries of free labor in an open market and land and resources and controlling it that way without paying taxes on nothing for real, I think we would have a foundation, but we don't have a foundation because we don't have that. I think we have to be realistic that when you look at the foundation of white people, for instance, Chase Bank, Warner Brothers, all these big name companies, you see what I'm saying? Levi Strauss and Company, like all these big name companies, they had their bases in cotton fields for hundreds of years. Like with free labor at that, do you know how much a company would be worth when you have hundreds of years of 7 days a week of free labor? Like, are you serious? Like, that's more than a foundation. So I don't think we should be competing with their quote unquote foundation to put it like, oh, they stuck together real good and made some shit. Yeah, no, free labor will make anything possible. Seriously. And that's something we can't get today because it's illegal.
Okay. Well, I'm open to be reminded. So thank you for actually bringing that part up, Lola, because I ain't gonna lie, you are right on that note. Because when you do have like years, and I mean years of just service that you don't even have to give money to. I mean, all you have to do is just feed them scraps, and you have like your empire. That's the same way how it goes, like even in the modern days where, I mean, I don't know if I could say this on YouTube, but you have youth labor, in other countries, which that's why you have you still have, the shoe game that's still going strong, where, the distribution to make and the cost to make those shoes is like far less, but then, they take it to overseas to the United States, and then they're selling for a higher price, pretty much like 15 times the amount. So I get you, and I digress on that one.
Okay, let me say this. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I'm gonna go to my man JVJ. Salute to the homie JVJ. Glad he pulled up. You know what I mean? Salute, brother. Much love. You know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to JVJ and Smitty. I know you got your questions, so right after JVJ done, let's rock out with your questions, bro. All right? 'Cause I know you got some questions lined up for us, so we're gonna rock out with that. But my thing is this, right? You know, what we have to just keep in mind is this. Lola's absolutely correct, but also for the things that you want to see done, M3, it's not impossible, right? So what you want to do is possible. But in order for that to happen, we have to change things systematically and politically. Oh yeah, I know a lot of us don't want to go out there and get in politics or vote or change anything. But guess what? If you want things to change in your community, guess what? You're gonna have to get up and vote and get involved in politics and get involved in social issues. If you don't do that, nothing in your neighborhood's gonna change. They're not gonna respect you. Ain't nothing gonna be voted in. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you. And that's just a fact. Okay? You have to get involved politically and socially. You can't just sit here and just think that, oh, if I just say something, then that's enough. No, it's not. You know what I mean? Hell, I need to do more politically and socially. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need to be more. I need to know who my senate is, who my mayor is, who you know what I mean, who's representing my community. I need to know that, right? And the fact that I don't know all these things is a problem. You know what I mean? So I need to be more involved politically and socially within my own community, even though I live pretty well. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I need to be more involved in that. So if y'all want to see things change, it ain't gonna just happen by us just saying it, right? Or just kind of doing the work, right? So M3, you doing the work is a good thing. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that at all, brother. You're doing an amazing job as far as what you're doing. But what I'm saying is that if you want to see real change, it's got to become politically and socially. We got to have things written on paper that says they have to follow this law, and if they don't follow this law, this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if we don't have that, then none of this is gonna matter. And that's all I gotta say. JVJ, it's on you, bro.
Yeah, I hope everybody doing all right tonight, man.
Yes, sir. I'm just watching the game and streaming at the time. You already know.
Let's see. Like I like what the sister said when she pointed out the fact, and that's something that we don't need to ever gloss over, the history of this country that we live in right now. And I just got done doing a live talking about a little bit of the past, and people did have a head start. But I also don't believe that we should adopt the way that they do things too, because we actually have a proven way of doing it opposite. A lot of people don't understand when you say the richest person in the world. A lot of people go to like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, them people and a lot of people might understand that it's probably a person that you don't know about. But the richest man to ever live in this world was Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa, yeah,
Mansa Musa. He didn't operate the way that these people that run this country operated to get where he got to, and his people thrived. We gotta be involved, because I know Intellectual Soapbox said it. We gotta be involved in the political movement. That was a big part of my thing, because you can't really expect any type of change that's gonna benefit you unless you put people in place that actually have you on their mind when they go in there. And a lot of black people abstain from that a lot, and we need to be better with it. But we also need to be a little bit smarter about who we voting for too. I just said it a second ago that just because they put somebody's name on a ballot don't mean you got to vote for them. And we live in an age of technology. So we can actually get together and find somebody that represents our needs as a whole. You don't have to fill in for Joe. You don't have to fill in for Trump and Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis. You can write that person's name in, and let's see how that electoral college actually operates.
Okay. So,
yes, sir. Totally agree. Smitty,
so you saying that the voting has a lot to do with it?
Well, when it comes down to it, I think a lot of people get caught up on the presidential, and I don't think the presidential election really means anything. It's really like your local and state stuff that really changes laws and push forth everything. But you gotta eventually it's gonna get to that point. The president is really supposed to just be the CEO of this company, because it's not a country; it's a company. It's a company, and we are the product. We're the product of it. That's that GDP. That's you. That's you. What we can actually produce. That's the people in it. So, like, I believe the president gets to it to a certain extent, but really, it starts at state and local, and we need to be involved in that, because you don't like a certain person working for your school board, vote them out. Then you don't like a certain mayor or a certain sheriff or a certain judge, vote them out, and you can change that. But we always focus on the presidential.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, rock out, twin.
I
You've been quiet
totally
for a
agree.
minute.
The thing is, that man wasn't asking for a handout and wasn't begging. The thing is that I don't understand how people can't see how we're still oppressed, how we still have obstacles. Yes, it's been better and it's gone a long way, but there's still so much that hasn't happened that should have happened. And we can't be complacent with mediocrity. Yeah, we talk a good game. We're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this, but nobody does shit.
Hey, Gracie, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Gracie. The things you say when you're like, there are certain things that hasn't happened. Has it not happened because we're sitting around waiting for somebody else to do our dirty work? Or is it because we keep on trying and giving it our all and we just keep getting shut down by the big bad man?
I say both. So, there's three types. There's three types of people in this world. People that see things happen, people that let things happen, and people that make things happen. And there's too many people right now in the melanated community that only see things happen and let things happen. When are we going to make things happen? And Jay was totally right. Soap was right. We have to get in there to make the changes. We can't wait on somebody and we can't hope that it's going to happen. Instead of pushing our kids to be football players and entertainers, why don't we push them to be more doctors, politicians, teachers, where we can really make the change? Because 5% run 95% of this country. 5%. How does 5% run 95? Imagine if 95 unites. And again, it goes through that biggest fear. If we all unite and work together and bring something forth to the table, change will happen. But we could talk here all night about problems. We can talk about solutions, but what are we actually doing? Action. When are we going to have our Nike moment? When are we just going to do it?
Okay.
I digress. My mic is muted.
Embrace the grace. Here's the thing. I love you, but I have to throw a wrench in right here. Let me be honest with you, right? As much as we say our children shouldn't want to just be entertainers and sports stars, right? When we look at the amount of children, black boys and black girls specifically, that are going into the medical field, going into STEM field, going into the field of law, going into the field of criminal justice, going into fields of teaching, going into fields of scientific and planetary studies. There's a lot of us in these fields of study and in working in these fields too, and we're just not.
But not enough. Not enough, though, Lola.
No. Everybody doesn't belong in these fields. What I'm saying is, we need cashiers too, just like we need doctors. Like we need people working in the hospital as much as we need people that own hospitals. So it's not about, well, it's not enough, because when I say, well, what's the percentage of black people, for instance, that should be doctors? There's no real concrete number we can put on that. So my thing is this: we all know, like, for instance, my son has all of his uncles and aunts, lawyers, doctors, accountants, engineers. Like that's a Tuesday through Wednesday for him to have aunts and uncles that work for the government. His grandfather works for the government. I work for the government. His grandmother's a working nurse, like retired nurse. Like these career fields is now saturated with black people. We're not being held back from being in career fields that we want to be in. We're not really being held back as far as that's concerned. So my question is to you specifically, what is it that you are trying to do that you feel in your life you are being held back from doing, that has to do with like what you were referencing? Because and you, Mr. Best, can tell you this better than I can. I like to make things more personable so that we can get down to the truth of the matter. Because in my life, I'm gonna be honest with you, the only bit of pushback I receive is on high level, and I mean high level jobs and banking. That's the only pushback I get. And I'm not gonna say it's a whole lot of pushback. I'm just gonna say I know it's not equal to my white counterparts. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm being held hostage. Like, not at all. Like, not at all. So in your personal life, what are you trying to do that you feel oppressed? And yeah, you feel
Well,
oppressed.
And can I
Well,
piggyback that one after you, Grace?
sure. First of all, I
Hey
never
Lola, I got
said.
a sip to that.
I
I thank
said
you so much.
I said obstacles. We have a lot of different
Ooh.
obstacles. I gave my son an ID when he was 9 years old. And he said, Mom, where am I getting an ID? I said, because we live in a predominantly white neighborhood, and I want you to be ready so you don't have to get ready, because it's very common nowadays, as you guys know, for Karens. We have to move differently because we live in a different world. I had to teach my son how to get pulled over from a police officer versus my white girl friend's son. It's a game, and we have to just master the game and be better at them, because right now they winning. Me personally, have I been oppressed? Absolutely. I've been pulled over for no reason, just because I drive a nice truck. Back in
Whenever
when I
have we
had that.
not? Whenever have we
But
had to
but
not master this? Whenever had we not had to really like? What I'm trying to figure out is, Black people, when in the history of us have we ever had a time where we were incapable of making something out of nothing? What period of time was that? Aztec, Egyptian, what? African, biblical? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody
I don't
help
think
me.
that's the answer. I don't think that's the right question, Smitty, because we live in America. And I understand that people say that, look, I don't have any
I
obstacles in
think
front of
we've
me.
lived in
And
a
then,
lot harsher though, Jay.
yeah, well, like, I think everything has been harsher. Right now, I think we're living in a time where we have the most available to us. We have technology
Mm-hmm.
available to us, information
Mm-hmm.
available to us. We're the human beings that doesn't live the best on this earth, but it still doesn't take away from, like, we can't sit here and say that there's no obstacles in the way, because the obstacles start when you're a child.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a certain
Okay.
neighborhood and police patrol that neighborhood, they have a good chance of hemming your life up before. You could have been the one kid that was going to come out here and cure cancer, but you grew up on D Block and you was hanging out with your friend Timmy, and your friend Timmy was doing something stupid. But just because Timmy was doing something stupid and they were already looking to hem up somebody that was Black, they're going to hem you up too. You guilty by association. We've heard that before. When it comes into the job market, you can clearly see that people are fighting against that right now. We just got rid of affirmative action in college. And a lot of people say, well,
Okay.
that's discriminating against whites and all this. It was put in place because whites discriminated against Blacks. Like a lot of these things that we fought for, Martin Luther King and all the other civil rights leaders, they fought for these things to give us a fair advantage or give us a fair chance in the game. And actively right now in our society, people are fighting to take
Did
those
somebody
away.
mute?
They're fighting
Sorry,
to
Jay,
actively
go ahead.
take those. No, you good. We literally see them fighting to take those things away. Now, I understand, and this is what really irks me. I understand the argument from my white counterparts and some of my deeply conservative brothers that say it, or females, that it's not right to discriminate against these people, or it's not right to elevate y'all in the process of making y'all better. We're gonna put them down. It's only being done on this side because of what has already been done to them. Like,
Okay.
it's a reaction. Like, are you gonna get mad if I walked up and slapped you right now?
Mm-hmm.
And you slap me back? Because you know how it goes in sports. It's not the person that did it first, it's the person that reacted. Do you think it's fair that you would get criticized for hitting me back and not me slapping you first?
You talking
That's
about
what
both of us being niggas?
No, period, anything, because that's the society we're living in right now. We have a bigger argument with the
I'm
correction
not
of the
too
problem
sure.
than the problem.
I'm not too sure, but I would say I am pretty accustomed to. Folks really like to look at your response more so than why you responded that way.
Yeah, like we live in a society right now where we're trying to. I'm just gonna stick with the affirmative action one, because we
Okay.
do have hindrances in this country where Black people don't have an advantage. We have it, or even just equal playing field. In the medical field, we already know that Black women's pain is taken as less. In the justice system, we know that Black people get longer sentences than their white counterparts for doing the same thing. We know that Black people are patrolled and policed more than any other race. We know that we're arrested more for doing the exact same crimes. Because we talk about the war on drugs. We locked up a lot of black people for smoking weed. We know white people smoke the same amount of weed, and there's more of them, so they know we know they smoke more. We have an issue. I just covered tonight about the ATF, the DEA pulling over. They're stopping people at airports. They're stopping people at airports saying that from Atlanta to LA, that this is a big drug lane. So we're going to stop people. Now, all of those passengers, only 1 out of 3 are black people, not black men or black women. 1 out of 3 are black. But 46% of the people that were stopped were black men. There are a lot of things that happen to hinder our group. Calling out ain't a problem. Do we need to overcome in spite of? Yeah, we always got to, because the world don't care about us. Nobody cares about us.
You know what I also see though, Jay, as an issue that I don't think a lot of people think about. It's right in front of our face. Also a large reason as to why, and you made some good points. I don't agree with them all, but you made some great points. You did. You executed that beautifully. There's also the simple fact of us, right? It's really hard for us to really come together, really unite, right? Considering, depending on where one of us is from, depends on how we look at things. I do notice a difference in how a lot of us from the South, especially the deep South, look at police brutality, the government, the whole nine, as opposed to some of us maybe where I'm from and up. There is a difference in how we look at things. So all I'm saying to that is I do believe that that's also a contributing factor as to why when it comes to like a lot of what's going on with us, we're not able to get that shit together. We're not able to get it together simply because, you know, that's something that's been taking place. But I digress. My mic is muted. I see we got Top Flight in the building. You got something you want to say real quick, M3?
Yeah.
And then we going over to you, Tika. Yeah. Go ahead, M3.
I was gonna just make it like a quick point, so this gonna just be like a few seconds. What I was gonna say? I was gonna say, like, you know, we do, all of us, you know, blacks, whites, whatever. Mm-hmm. We all carry like, you know, the same obstacles, but the only difference is that, like, you know, our people are lacking a lot of resources to help continue to build ourselves up. We don't have like a lot of empires. We don't have like a lot of.
Real quick, can you just name 3 of those resources that we're lacking that other kids and cultures have? Just like 2.
We're lacking the banking systems, right? As far as like, you know, certain type of loans, i.e., if you were right and you went to like your white neighborhood banking or whatever, right? You probably
loans don't have nothing to do with your credit.
Hold on. You give. Hold on. Let me.
Okay. My bad. M3. Okay. My bad.
Hey, look. Okay, the banks, okay, again, what Mr. Best was saying, like, you know, we're not heavily into like politics, so that's also a disadvantage of us because we need to know who we're voting into the office, you know. The other part is, you know, the lack of education, because we're heavily focused on the wrong things, but if we was properly educated, right, and if we know our history, we probably will be well better off. That's all I'm gonna say. I digress.
Okay, all right. Hey, look, I'm getting ready to hold on. I'm gonna just run over to the fridge. Lola,
I gotta push
Ruthless is under your watch. Lola, Ruthless is under your watch. If his ass gets out of line, that shit's coming out of your check. Rock out.
Listen, don't start with me, okay? Listen, okay. And to your point that you was getting ready to make with M3, right? And I understand what M3 is really saying. What he's saying is when you compare pound for pound, credit score for Black people to white people get more the same loans at a higher rate than Black people. I will give you that, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. Equalness and fairness and oppression are different concepts here. And to Grace's point, I understand having hurdles and difficulties, right? But to Smitty's point, there's never been a time in history where we have not had hurdles and difficulties in just because we are human. So it's like to say, well, where do we want to be? Like in a perfect world, where do we want to be? And what is it going to take for us to get there? Us and our great grandchildren will be dead. So what's realistic for us in terms of what is actually happening and what we expect to change like right now, which is why I said, give me a personal example about how you're being oppressed, because right now I haven't applied for no loans that I didn't get. So I can't sit here and say, well, you know, white people get stuff I don't get. No. They conglomerately, they might get more than my people, but I ain't never been turned down for a loan. I got Chase Bank calling me right now trying to give me money. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, we need to really be careful when we talk about oppression, because like I said in the beginning, if right now we are, let's say, content with where we're at because it's the best place on earth, no matter how crazy it might be, let's just be honest about that. And I'm not saying that everything is right, like the whole over policing situation, right? But let's be clear about something. If let's say more black people were police officers and they actually paid police people better salaries, we wouldn't have this problem. But we do have this problem because you can't be a criminal or the criminal past and be a police officer, at least not the ones I know. So, you know what I mean? This is the issue. And I think we're just kind of like, I don't mean this literally, but maybe somewhat, we're just regurgitating some of our ancestors' issues and kind of looping them in with our issues, when in fact a lot of our issues got to do with the fact that we are all on social media and we don't interact with humans as much as we used to, and it affects how we interact in general. For instance, ordering out, that affects how much money you spend. That affects your free income allowability in terms of investment. Because when you sit home, you tend to order out more. You don't tend to cook more. And that's because we're on our phones a lot. So, but this is not oppression. This is something that all people have access to. And if black people didn't have phones and ability to order out, that now we're talking about oppression. So, you know, I understand that black people have issues that white people don't. I understand. But let's be clear about something. Whatever issues we have right now, it's not because we so bad off. Like, we're really not as bad off as we keep saying that we are. And it's like, if you ever wanted to get a job, like Mr. Best said earlier, and you was turned down for it because there was some racist white person at the top or whatever, that happens. And truth be told, like, that's happened and vice versa. We just don't talk about it. There are white people that have applied at black companies and have been turned down because black companies feel the same way white companies feel. We want to give this opportunity to one of our own first. So, and I've seen that in my city. So it's like, and I get it. It don't feel good when we are black people applying to white companies and being turned down. But when we own the company and we say, you know what? No, fuck you, Jose. We want Kevin because Kevin got a high school diploma and he worked hard and he one of us. Fuck your degree. That's the freedom we want as black people, to say we want to hire who the hell we want to hire for the reasons we want to hire them, because they one of us. So we can't turn around and want our cake and eat it too. Like, we just can't. I'm okay with white people saying, you know what, we looking out for our own first before we look out for another group of people. I am A-okay with that. All I'm saying is to my own people, if you want to take note, now's the time. And I think we taking note, but maybe not at the same rate. But hey, I don't have a problem with free enterprise. I just got a problem when people act like that's not what we in.
Okay,
is it Miss
I like that.
How do you say that, Miss Osun?
No, Oshun.
Oshun.
Say it again.
Oshun.
Oshun. Okay, I got some big pushback on what you just said. Because you said,
can we real quick, Jay? Can I let Tika get in here real quick, and then no problem. I'm gonna just open. You come right on back. Just remember the thought. I appreciate it. Go ahead and rock out, Tika.
No, he can actually do his thing. I was a little bit of a kind of summons here, so I'm here because I did say what I said earlier. But no, he can go ahead and do his thing. I'm okay.
Rock out, Jay. Rock out.
You said point to a personal experience. Exceptions don't make the rule. Just because you weren't trying to go get a loan and you haven't been denied for a loan doesn't take away from the vast majority. That's why a lot of people like to do, like, at least me, I like to form my arguments off of data and statistics, what I can actually prove. Because anecdotal experiences from you or me or Smitty, anybody on this panel, does not matter in the grand scheme of things. You might have been able to get every loan you wanted to get. But there was a thing called redlining in this country where it stopped black people from being able to get loans. It doesn't take away from it. Chase Bank, we already know how many times they've been called out in the last 5 years about discriminating against their own black clients. Like, we know that for a fact. So I'm like, I get where you're coming from, where we need to be strong people and we need to overcome and we need to do what we need to do. It does not take away from the fact of what has been and what is currently going on to us. Like, we can't dismiss that. That's shitting on the people that fought for us a long time ago. They say, well, you know, now that's nonsense. Everybody knows you need to go out there and do what you're supposed to do and you're supposed to grind. But we have things that are in place. We are targeted more by police. We don't get as many loans as white people. We are hemmed up and given longer sentences than other people. There's nothing wrong with calling that out. That's not playing victim mentality. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. And to tell other black people to just disregard that and get out there and grind, that's not, I don't truly believe that's the right message we need to be getting across. I would think the message should be, understand where you come from, understand what you might possibly face, but you still need to do this. We should not be out here disregarding. We should never disregard what we go through. Because when you say, I don't really care because it's not happening to me, when it happens to you, the same people you told it don't really matter that much about won't come and defend you. That's all I got.
I understand what you're saying. But I would argue that someone can push back on your statistical argument and say that because there's about 60% more white people in this country, technically the data is going to fall on their part in terms of them getting more loans because there's more of them. Like, you can always cook the books out here. So that
ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about percentages, not numbers.
I get what you're saying, but that specific talking point is one that it's not a strong talking point in terms of what black people go through in terms of data, because I heard you mention the data.
Yeah,
now,
data.
when I go to apply for a loan, I don't go to apply for a loan based on data. I don't know anybody that have. I go based on what my credit score is and how much I think I'm worth. Now, they'll tell me how much they are willing to risk on me. But to be honest with you, I work in a section of government in which I have to make the same decisions when it comes to organizations. And I myself am very cutthroat in my line of work, very cutthroat. So
I want you to understand something.
I'm not gonna say that that there's not no stuff going on when it comes to let's say money being thrown around and actually money talking better than anything else. I'm not saying that. But when it comes to the issue of race, I agree with you that we should acknowledge that, hey, we've been through some shit, okay? And that's not for us to sit and say, hey, I need somebody to cry on my shoulder, somebody to cry on the shoulder for, and I need a slice of pie and shit. Like, no. I get that. But I think we personally talk about our quote unquote issues with like policing specifically, and maybe that's about it, a bit too much, instead of looking at truly what's happening on an even larger scale and saying, hey, do we contribute to the bullshit? Like really, do we contribute to the bullshit? And sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. But at the end of the day, right, I mean, as many problems as other communities have, other hurdles they have, they just making moves. They not getting on social media and talking about the past 100 years. They just making political moves. They just making social moves. They just out here making it do what it do. And that's not to say black people aren't doing that, because if you look at black women, we coming through for real. We coming through for real. When you move in certain circles, you already know what time it is. But I just think that we when we on social media like this, we're giving too much leniency on, okay, You know what I mean? What, as they said, our hurdles. And I'm sitting here saying, listen, we got hurdles, but we're not the only people that got hurdles. And the hurdles we do have, we can mitigate that at any given moment. That's why I asked for a personal example. Because if you give me a personal example of how you were, like Mr. Best, he went for a job similar to myself, and when they found out that he was black, they like, oh no, it's taken after you got the job. Like I got a colleague now, same thing happened to her at a job interview, right? So now that's an example of how you're being oppressed by another group of people that might not want you in that spot because they want their own in that spot. How do you mitigate that? Well, all of us got our jobs through none other than black people at the top in government. So we did the same thing. We just went through our own people to do it. Same thing with the Indians. You think they come out of college with 10 years worth of experience when they apply for these jobs and come in at $130,000, $140,000 off rip? You think they got 10 years worth of experience in engineering coming out of college? No, they don't. They have their own people that they go through that vouch for them to say on their resume, hey, this man got 10 years of experience. I vouch for him. And that's how they get in the door. They don't get in the door the straight way. And that's the problem with black people. We think we're going to get someplace the straight way. Ain't no straight lines out here. You're going to get in however you're going to get in, but you ain't going to get in the fair way. And that's not how I got in the fair way. And I'm talking about government jobs and not even your regular, your regular job. There is no way like that. So we can't continue to complain. We have to just make moves.
See, that's the thing I was trying to tell you. Let me say this.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. And then we're going to get to Ruthless.
Yeah, I'm going
to get to Ruthless.
Hold on. Pause, everybody. Pause. Because M3 got to run. So we're going to go to M3, right? And then after that, we're going to go to Tika because she's been waiting for a minute. So we're going to go to M3.
My bad,
Tika,
y'all.
M3 Tika. Then I'm going to go to Ruthless. Then Jay I'm going to get to you. Because I know they've been
up so briefly, get Lola shrimp and grits on my dollar, sir. She deserves it. Thank you. Good job, Lola. Good job.
No. I'm gonna go after Jay. But go ahead, M3. That's between her and some other dude. But yeah, go ahead, M3.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Best. Look, I'm gonna make this real quick, okay? Because I don't want to hold y'all time. But look, I'm gonna just tell you a quick story. So there's a guy, okay, that was telling me, and Mr. Best, he knows him too because he's in the tech field as well. And this guy, he's like a senior manager, okay, white dude and all that. But anyways, the point of me saying this is that, like, okay, he was willing to offer me a position, okay, working for LinkedIn. And I kid you not, in his words, what he told me, this is why I'm always going to say it's about who you know more than the skills that you have. He was like, look, I could put you and set you up in a management position and have somebody else, who has experience to train you to get into that field, because I have the power to pretty much tell HR, don't worry about the application. He has no experience, but I'm going to hook him up over anybody else that has 10 to 15 to 20 years experience. So stuff that Mr. Best is telling you, like, it's really some real shit. Like, he's not playing around about that. The shit happened to me. Now, right now, I'm still doing what I'm doing at my own job, and I'm loving what I'm doing. But I'm just saying, like, hey, it's about pretty much who could pretty much put you into that door. So when you feeling discriminated, you're feeling discriminated for a reason. It's a big reason to it, because if they want you in, they'll make a way to bring you in. If they don't want you in, hey man, you're gonna have to look for another company. Anyways, thank you everybody, and I'm about to be out. So peace out, everybody.
Salute M3.
Respect. Thank you, M3. Much appreciation.
Let me get to the.
I want to say this last piece real quick. So real quick. Hold on.
I gotta acknowledge you people because they've been saying for a minute. Salute to
go ahead. That's the chat. Go ahead, get the chat.
Also, salute to the Wife School podcast. Salute. You know what I'm saying? But Smitty, go ahead real quick, and then after that, I'm gonna get to Tika, then I'm gonna get to Ruthless.
Yeah, perfect. All I'm gonna say is
JBJ,
this.
My bad.
What I'm gonna say is this. From what I know, when it comes to, let's take, if we want to take like the higher ups, the elites. From what I know, okay, so let's just take masonry. That's not just white. You got you got a whole bunch of black 33rd degrees and all of that. Something like that. And I mean, heck, I don't know, you want to go to Illuminati, whatever. From what I know, when it comes to all of these like high elite status type organizations, things that most of us would look at as, that step beyond government, I see niggas all in it. So again, I mean, only thing, listen, just like how Lola was saying, touche. Nobody's denying what we've been through. We've been through some shit, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like I haven't seen for my very own eyes, from my life personally, the things that I accomplished. It was because I chose to dig my boots into the mud and work that shit out and make sure I made something happen. I have seen personally many times I have made something, more than something, out of nothing. I've seen it too many times for myself. So then I get to thinking like, what? And this is just like a teeny, this is just a microscopic level of nothing into something. I'm just doing some like shit. I'm good for the week and shit. Like I just made enough money to, like, I'm straight. Everything. I'm all right. So if I'm able to do that, I'm just saying to myself, like, what is this? What is this thing we can't do? I'm not seeing that, and I just don't get it. But I digress. My mic is muted. Anybody else got anything on that? Yeah, let's get to Tika and Ruthless. We coming right over to you, Ruthless. Behave yourself tonight, nigga.
I just want to say that I guess Smitty, you'll be realizing that we have not realizing that we have a bigger problem. I'm not realizing, like, I don't understand how we don't understand that there's still a problem here. Like the whole comment.
Is the problem the world or us?
The whole comment that I made earlier around, us not being on an even playing field. Like, how could we be? We're automatically sought out just based on how we look. The first time I ever got pulled over, I really went to jail. Like, this is a real thing. Not because I drive like Miss Daisy's cousin Susie. Okay? Like, I literally drive like Mrs. Daisy's cousin Susie. Like, super safe. The cop told me that he put in his hand. He said, I went this much out of line. It was so small, I couldn't even see it. There was no reason. So, I mean, like, we're just not going to act like things don't happen to us just based on how we look alone. And with that, we're not even.
Okay. All right.
Facts.
And it's also kind of just insulting because it's like, it's so many black people that are out here dying in their like teenage years, right? That they can't even sit here and speak for themselves, or why they had to like deal with things like, police brutality or just for simply being black and carrying Skittles around and buying a soda from the store or tea. Like,
then why,
I don't
Tika,
know.
why aren't more of us police officers? Now, I get it. We got a thing against the fuzz. Niggas don't want to be 5-0. We not trying to like lock up our homies that we grew up in the community with. But I mean, honestly speaking, don't you think it'll be much better if the very people who patrolled that neighborhood were the very people who grew up in it? Why we always got to have some outside forces coming in to go ahead and govern our shit? We can start right there on some basic shit. Why don't we do it more?
You don't think that internally they get treated like crap too? Within the police force? As black cops?
Okay, that was a major goalpost move.
No,
you shifted that bitch out to the parking lot. You ain't even just like go a few inches.
I'm pretty sure they get the crappy assignments. I'm pretty sure they get the crappy language.
What does that have to do with the tea in China, my dear? What does that have to do with the tea in China?
Because you just asked why are a lot of black people not becoming cops? as if the black cops don't get treated like crap too.
What I'm asking you is, when it comes to if we're talking about police brutality in our neighborhoods, why don't we have more of our own grow up? And then why don't we say on a more than not basis, maybe we should, like, you know what, maybe we should get our kids in there, because you know what I notice other cultures do? They don't sit around bitching about what's messing up or what's wrong for them. They just keep having generation after generation of kids, and then they slowly start to integrate their children into these systems. They mad at the government, they get their kids in the government. They mad at the hospitals, they get their kids into being doctors and nurses. They mad at the police, and guess what they become? Police.
It's cap.
Okay, all right, rock out. Okay, I digress. My mic is muted.
No, I'm being dead serious. That's cap, because these other groups do bitch about their complaints. Right now, they bitching about people coming over the border. They taking their country. But when it came to, I wanted to go back to Miss, what's her name? I can't say that last part. When I talk about data and I talk about statistics, I talk about percentages, not numbers. Black people and white people use drugs at the same level. In the percentage wise, same level. But black people are arrested more. There's more white people. So you would think that if white people and black people use drugs at the same level, more white people, just by the sheer numbers of white people, would be arrested more. But it's black people. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about the data. I care about percentages. I don't care about mass numbers. I know we only make up 13, 14, 15% of the population. But to say that, like, I get the argument that I think y'all are trying to get across, that we as black people need to pick ourselves up and do better as a whole. But I think where you're running into the error is disregarding the roadblocks that we have in front of us. To just dismiss
and that biggest roadblock we have is our headspace, how we keep looking at shit as if it's yesterday. The biggest roadblock we have is our goddamn selves.
Smitty, today, I just told you, black people as a whole, traveling from Atlanta International Airport to LAX are 1 out of 3. 33.3% of the people traveling. But they account, just the black men, account for 46% of the stops. And they're saying they're doing this under the guise of stopping drugs. Only 7% of it, they collect drugs. 96%, they don't turn up anything. But out of that 96%, well, out of that whole 100, 46% is black people. And we only make up
Jay, how many of these niggas was in the charger? Let's just start
Smitty,
there.
Hold up, Smitty. You know when you go to the airport, nobody sees what you're parking in by the time you get ready to board the plane. You got to go through TSA, all these different screenings, go make sure you get your pass.
How many of these niggas got a Louis bag?
Exactly, Smitty. I'm glad you said that. Think about this. We're talking about black excellence. People do need to do better and climb to that level. When you climb to that level, that's what they were targeted for. They had nice bag. They had nice shoes. They had on nice clothes. That's why they picked them out of the crowd. Because in America's mind, a black man that has nice things must be doing something nefarious to get them. That's how they stop them.
Jay, I'm hip to that.
That's how they stop them. I'm not trying to argue anything. That's what it's documented. I covered it tonight. Go over and watch. You was over there.
No. I will. And I'm gonna smash like and drop a comment. Listen. That's not the point. What I'm saying to you is, what we need to recognize, and then we're gonna go to Ruthless because he has been very patient. What we need to recognize is that we keep on. Listen, more than anything, but one, before we have anybody else take us serious, we have to show a much more, at least a united front on how we treat each other when it comes to the public eye. First and foremost, we don't respect each other. We cannot sit up here and keep asking other folks to respect us. That's one, bro. Two, how we definitely carry ourselves in the information that we pass on or don't pass on. Somehow or another, when it comes to all of the degenerate bullshit, we know how to get that to the youngins. But when it really comes to dropping them jewels and them gems, somehow or another it kind of gets like lost in translation. It's like I ain't even trying to hear yo G or some dumb shit like that. We do have a lot of things that's in our way. We do have obstacles. But I'm standing on my shit tonight. Our biggest obstacle out of anything else, the King Koopa of the whole everything on that game, is us. It's us.
Smitty,
there's a whole lot of shit that can be eradicated and or changed if we got our shit together. First, we keep talking about the neighborhood being fucked up, and we got syringes at the park, and the basketball courts is fucked up, but we step out of a hellhole every goddamn day.
Smitty,
I don't understand, bro.
Smitty, you know I agree with majority of what you're saying, and I agree with the concept.
Respect.
I agree with the concept. But if you broke your leg and you got a knife in your back, you're going to care about one more than the other. I get that. But it still doesn't take away from the other thing happening to you. I get it. I don't know which part of the back. Is it like towards up here, or is it like whichever part hurt the worst? Whichever part hurt the worst. But like real shit, I get you. I get what you're saying. You have to understand. You have to. And it's not taken away, because I agree. We are our number one worst enemy. Any person in this world that blames their problems on anything outside of them, the first thing you need to do is check yourself. But even after checking
yourself,
you,
Jay. Thank you.
But after you check yourself, Smitty, you still have to combat the obstacles that are around you. It does not, just because you hold yourself accountable.
Okay. Touche.
It's not taken away from what else is happening in this world. Like, look, a lot of the people that we cover in these videos, or we see pop up in the news, they were upstanding citizens. Upstanding. Like, you know how the news is? They are dig to find something to justify why they did it. The cops are dig to find something why they justified it. And
I agree. The news is dirty as shit. I don't fuck with them niggas. I agree.
I said the cops too. But they'll dig to try to find something and still can't find something. Yes, you have to be better as a person personally. Your first step is to get yourself right. But after you get yourself right, like me, I got myself right. Now I'm coming out here for these wolves out here that's taking advantage of the sheep. I'm not going to sit around here and tell anybody that what's going on in this world is not happening. It's happening. Just because people want to ignore it, that's their problem. They can deal with it. And I will always be I'll be an adversary to you, anybody that argues transgressions against our people.
I like that.
I will also agree that yes, we got to be better as people.
Okay, nah, I'm with you on that. Nah, good shit. Nah, real talk though, real talk. I see the common ground, Brody. I see the common ground. Let's go ahead because we got folks in the building. Big Rig, what's going on, my G? All right, salute.
I'm fighting too.
You fighting too?
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Can you just pack the man's lunches? We need more babies. Wow. I think the community needs more babies if that's what's gonna happen. If we go on a war, y'all better not get it twisted for a second and think we don't need more coming in here. Huh? Okay. Now, Ruthless. Just let me know. Are we in Old or New Testament tonight? Where are we going today, sir? Where we leave off last week, Pastor? Rock out, Ruthless.
Let me say what's up to the panel. I'm a little oblivious here because I find myself reading Miss Ushon for the first time in many months. But it's because y'all made a lot of different points. So the first point I'm gonna address is: have Black people succeed in America? Well, of course, right? Black people are resilient. We own 8% of the wealth. We are not only physically gifted, but we're psychologically gifted as well. We've succeeded all expectations.
Ruthless, speak up just a little bit.
In a country that is built against us, right? We have exceeded expectations, right? All odds against us, we have overcome. Now, that's one point. Second point, do we experience police brutality, all those shit? Of course, right? I mean, everybody's going through something like that. But there's no excuse for us, to sit here and not diminish the greatness as Black people have done in this country, right? From president to, basketball players, right? To doctors, lawyers. We have so much to celebrate, right?
So Ruthless, let me ask you this real quick. Then why in your mind would you say that we disrespect Dr. King and Malcolm X so much if we supposed to uphold all of this? Why do we do that?
That's another conversation. If you wanted to have another conversation about that, we can. But right now we're speaking on where we at now, right? As Black people, right? We have been resilient. We have exceeded expectations. We have to agree with that. I see a lot of Black people doing good out here. So why do we not champion these people? Or why do we not celebrate that? But we still focus on the negative we go through? It's because sometimes we want people to feel sorry for us, right? We want people to give us some type of attention. We want reparations. That's not happening. And they're not like Americans finna apologize. That's not gonna happen. So what we gotta be is we just gotta continue to be soldiers. We gotta continue to be who we are. Yeah. Is the American system hate us? Yes. The cops hate us? Yes. But that don't stop me from being a soldier out here, getting what I need to get. And if I ever have to come down to it with me, or I have to get out with America, whatever we have to do, then we just gonna have to do what we gotta do. But as for now, right? Success is imminent, and I see other Blacks around me that are successful. I am very proud of them when I see them. Now, do we have work to do still? Yes. When it comes to communicating with our women, children, Black people do need to learn conflict resolution better when it comes to our self-preservation, because we talk so much shit to each other. We always point each other faults out that we're never able to come to a middle ground, because we're too busy focused on each other's flaws. Because everybody has flaws. I ain't met nobody with no flaws. So I'm gonna land a plane right now. If we as a people, right, understand our position in this country, right, we are elite. We are competing. Economically, we're doing better than Africans who own their own country, right? We are competing economically. We're competing physically, right? So we are at the top of the fucking chain. And anybody say anything different, they're in a fucking delusion. I digress.
Okay now. Lola, you are on your job today. I don't know what you did to that nigga, but good job.
Hold on, y'all.
I blessed that nigga. I blessed him.
Time out.
What's up, so?
We going to Big Rig, because I know he just came in, so Big Rig, go ahead.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Big Rig. So look, we got my man Slab in the building. And then after that, if anybody wants to give any final touches on it, but I really want to move on to the next question because I have something I want to ask you guys. So go ahead, Brother Slab. What you got for us tonight? Rock out, take your time. I digress. My mic is muted.
Yeah, I'm not. Excuse me. I ain't gonna be too long. I agree. I agree 100% what you said earlier. Because yes, we do, like what she said, running into that issue with the police, and her having to do time. Yeah, those situations do happen, and I understand that. Does it happen all the time? Everybody know it don't. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't take from the fact. And that's why I agree with you when you say we need to start putting ourselves in position to take on those type of jobs. We have a bad outlook, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the hoods all across America, to not be anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be police, don't be nothing, don't talk to them. Even when you go to prison and everything, they don't like when you talk to the COs too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just how it is.
Facts.
But I also want to bring up the reason why, even though it's a lot of obstacles, you know what I'm saying? Like young bro was saying earlier, that can prevent us. There's always going to be obstacles. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of push on from that, and we just got to throw it in motion. But I was going to bring up an example of prison because, in the California state prison system, everything is very segregated. And it's actually, it's bullshit on one end, but on another end, it kind of goes with the purpose on what we were just saying about us putting ourselves in position, you know what I'm saying? So we patrol our, our communities and shit instead of having outsiders, because when you're in prison, you have all your different races and they have, pretty much a top dog, and they conversate and they work shit out. You know what I'm saying? So you don't got to worry about a different race or a different person trying to conduct how you make your moves or what you do, because then there would just be a whole situation, kind of like what we're saying. We got all these other people in our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? They don't know us. They treat us like shit. If we was in our own neighborhoods doing the thing, we wouldn't treat each other like that. We'd have a little bit more compassion. So in the prison system, it's kind of like that, because you have your own people, so you can work out things and you can kind of patrol your people instead of being patrolled by somebody else and it being a whole situation. So, I mean, that's kind of an example to kind of use in that, because that's really what we do need to do. Because other than that, we're going to always have that type of fucking problem, man, because we see it on the news. I ain't watched TV in a lot of years, and I just seen again a situation where it was a bad cop situation with somebody. The shit ain't ending, man. You know what I'm saying? So in order for that type of stuff to change, man, we got to start putting ourselves in position, man. We got to change that narrative to what we tell each other on, hey, don't fucking be like that. Don't be nowhere like a cop. Don't do this and that. Nah, man. Go ahead and get in those positions.
We gotta get first pass no snitching and shit.
Even that, I'm gonna keep it 100. Certain situations, man, when it comes from the streets, we all knows what it is. But I also heard somebody say something like, hey, man, if I see somebody doing something wrong to a kid or something like that, or they just hurt somebody real bad and they got away, whatever, and I got their license plate, I'm finna go ahead and tell the authorities. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't mad at that, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to certain people, civilians and shit like that, whatever code you own, you can't take on everybody's battles, because again, you have a family yourself. You know what I'm saying? So do the right thing, man. Like, we kind of need to start growing up a little bit, and then I think a lot of shit will start changing, man.
Let me just say this last piece, and then we're gonna move on to the next question. The reason why I said that, now mark my words, I get it, I get it all the way. My whole thing is, there's no way to get these young kids into wanting to be in law enforcement and govern the neighborhood unless they got past that, because that's literally the job. That's literally the job. So the only way to have that happen, that's a hurdle we got to get over. Now I know, believe me, I can't even begin to think. I'm lost on that one. I've researched many things, not that one. I ain't seen that documentary yet. So I don't know about you. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next topic. This is something I want to know.
I see Simon. Hold on. I see Simon.
I was going to introduce his ass. I was going to get to Sir Hectic. Go ahead, though.
But definitely, let me say this though. I think we have to just be reasonable and just be, what I'm saying? Just understand that, yes, systematically there are things against us. You know what I mean? We do have to do our part in fighting for it politically, socially, and beyond. And yes, the reason why other people in spaces and places may not face the same things that we face is because they have monetary control, but also other nations have a military. You know what I'm saying? So they know like when people come over here, if something pop off, you know what I mean? It may be a nuke shot up in the sky. So yeah, you know what I mean? These things are a factor. You know what I mean? Everything is a factor. You know what I mean? Now, if we had a military and we had those things of that nature, things would be a lot different. Things would be a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I do want to move on because I don't want to.
There's a military in some of these hoods, though, 84.
Nah, I'm talking about a real military. I'm talking about a tank.
Nah, I feel you. I'm just talking shit.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about a bunch of hood stuff. Which there are some dudes in the hood that got some stuff, but I'm talking about the real stuff. I'm talking about where I can actually push a button and something gets shot up in the sky and it land and it detonate somewhere. You know what I mean? It takes out a whole village. That's what I'm talking about. Now,
yeah, you got to join the cartel for that. But
I do want to move on.
So yeah, real quick though.
Let's get to your question, bro.
All right, let's do it. Sir Hectic, it's good to see you, sir. We're gonna go around the board. So after I ask this question, we're gonna go Tika, Sir Hectic, Lola, so on and so forth. So far, I already know you like to go last. I got you. Nigga, I'm hip. So this is what I want to know. So this comes from actually kind of a piggyback. I woke up about 3:34 in the morning, saw the good brother Bolo TV. Shout out to him. He had a very interesting topic. And this is what I want to ask off of piggyback off of that. When it comes to, because now the main reason why I'm asking this is when it comes to like more so the youth and things of that nature. When it comes to the letter community, is this really something where there's this huge, because the law is passed, same-sex marriages, the whole nine, is this really people coming out and proclaiming what they really truly are inside? Or is this more so a bunch of lonely people in search of the next fad? Now I'll start it off and then we'll go ahead and rock out. I do believe that there's some people, you know, that fit that category. Majority of this of what I see out here right now is a fad. You have people who will go to many, many lengths and extremes to go ahead and, I guess you can say, fit in somewhere, to feel like they belong to something. And I do believe that, unfortunately, this is a fad that can be forever life-changing. Most fads, okay, you know, bell bottoms. Well, you can take them off. You're wearing what you're wearing now. Afros, well, you can, you know, straighten your hair or cut it down. Most other fads that I've ever seen and come across, you were able to get up out of it as soon as it was no longer a fad. This is one that is very, very scary to me, because I do believe that this is something that is permanently life-changing for a lot of people, even if I ain't even talking about just the surgery, just indulging in such things, period. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and slide over to top flight moderator Tika. The letter community, is it a fad, or are people really now liberated and we didn't realize it was this many of them? I digress. My mic is muted.
So my first instinct is to say, you know, as a helpless romantic, that everybody is in search of love. All right. And to have partnership and just forever goodness for their whole lives. But the realistic part of me will say that I don't know. Listen, I don't understand everything. And I've always been, you know, taught that I shouldn't understand everything, that some things are beyond my understanding and out of my reach and out of my control. Listen, I don't really have anything to say about that. I have no idea. I don't understand it. So I'm going to skip myself. And I'm going to pass go.
Well, you didn't skip yourself because you gave an answer. Then you said, I'm going to skip myself.
I'm still skipping myself.
Moving along to Sir Hectic. What you got, brother?
She could go
Is it
body
a
slam you.
fad,
Watch.
or did we
She could body
not
slam you.
realize what?
I said you keep messing with her, she gonna body slam you. Watch.
Nah,
Right
I ain't
on his
messing with
head.
folks.
Right on his head.
Simon, what you got? What you got, Pimpin'? You're on mute. You're on mute, Simon. And you are still on mute, sir. Still muted. Nope, not yet. Nope.
Just skip him.
All right, Lola.
Hey, y'all better stop picking with Simon, okay? Hey, Simon, leave back out and come back, and I think that might fix the situation. I know that happened to me. But to answer your question,
No,
about
I checked it. I'm sorry. No, I checked
oh,
it.
I can hear you
He
now,
back,
Simon.
okay? Let him rock. Let Simon rock. Let Simon rock.
I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know y'all. You
Hello, man. Hello, man.
Yo, Lola, if you want to go first, that's up to you.
Simon,
No,
stop. Don't break the damn order. Why would we go to her, then come back to you just to go to Ruthless? Nigga, go.
Why are you so aggressive?
Because
nigga?
look. Gas is high, nigga. We not making no extra trips for nothing. Come on, let's go.
All right, so can we bring it back to the question? Like you had a question, right?
Okay. The question is the letter community. Is this really because of the laws being passed? Is this really people coming out and being who they are, or is this more so a fad? Because the studies are showing there's a whole real huge spike in the youth participating in this whole transgender thing. Is this really because that's who they are? Or is this more so a fad that can be, very detrimental in the long run? But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
I appreciate you. That's a hard touch, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, people are raised in certain types of ways. So, what it boils down to is, what are you trying to seek out? Are you trying to seek out some type of character? Like, we don't talk about that, like, in terms of, like, the type of character you're trying to put out in the world.
You mean like a Ninja Turtle, Simon?
Whatever you want it to be. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's just like, women and men have like a bar in terms of, this is what I aspire to be. This is what I aspire my partner to be. So, we can go back and forth all day long, but it's always going to be like, panties and Legoland. It's always, here and there. You know what Legoland is?
Rock out. Just let him rock out. Go ahead, Simon.
Legoland. You know what Legoland is? No.
Munch.
Okay. Yeah.
It's in San Diego.
No, I know what it is, but I'm like, huh?
Thank you.
Saying Cali Holland.
Oh, I don't. What just happened? Okay. All right. Lola.
I know what it is.
Lola.
What the hell?
Bring us back, Lola.
Okay, so what was the question? Because y'all was.
So the question is the letter community. Is this more so a fad, or is it really, really something where, because the laws have been passed, people actually are like, we're seeing this huge horde of this thing because the laws are passed, and it's genuinely how these people are? Or are we just seeing a fad and a trend because people want to feel like they belong to something? I digress. My mic is muted.
Thanks, Smitty. Let me say this, right? The alphabet community has always been here, And I mean, they've always been present too. It just wasn't, let's say, it just wasn't popular culture to talk about things. But they've always been here. If you look back into the early part of the 20th century, they had whole like drag shows that was part of Broadway. Like everybody knew where the peep shows was that wasn't quite the girly shows. Like everybody knew like what this was. And it's always been here. Like if you even go back to, okay, let's talk about slavery. A lot of black men, okay, was also victims of sexual assault, like on a regular basis. So, and children as well. So it's like, you know what I mean? In the same way. So, you know, I mean, let's not act like this hasn't always been with us. But, you know, we're coming out of this culture of not talking about it. But to your point about the fad thing, yes, it is also a fad. Meaning anything that you allow, right, like in an open place, the more you're going to see of it. And it's just the way the human brain works. Like, it's just the way the human brain works. And I know a lot of people would say, well, you know, people aren't that way. If they're not that way, they're not going to become that way because the law changed. It ain't. Yes, they will. Like, for instance, you see this with younger people, not so much older people, but younger people are opting to say and experiment more, right? And if it was true that, oh, well, if they're not like that, they're not like that, we would see this across the board between young people, middle-aged people, and older people. But we don't. And I'll be honest with you, right? Yes, just like with gang affiliation, people want to feel like they are a part of something. This is why people feel the need to have a flag to represent what they personally do in their bedroom. Okay. Like literally. So it's like, okay, it is what it is. And truth be told, not all people that are of that profession. Is that how you feel? Hold on. I know good and goddamn well you ain't interrupting me when I was quiet when you were talking your whatever shit. I know you ain't interrupting me. Oh, okay. I'm tripping. All right, never mind.
You can talk to me like that, Lola. Stop.
I know you better shut up. I know you better shut it up. I ain't the one tonight, Simon. I already said I ain't the one tonight. Don't do that. Like I was saying, people do feel the need to be a long part of something. And yes, there is a certain part of the younger people that are acting this way out of rebellion. I know that for a fact. So you got a couple things going right now, a couple fires going. And it's like, we can't just sum this down to one thing and say, oh, it's just a fad. No, it ain't just a fad. It is and it's not, because it's been going on for too long to just say, oh, it's a fad, like it's going to phase out. No, it's always been here. It hasn't been here in this way. And yes, it is a matter of rebellion. Yes, it is a matter of making things law. Yes, it is a matter of a certain community seeking more power. So therefore, they're changing and shifting the culture in a way that allows them power. For instance, the pronoun circumstance. This right here is a power play. That's all that it is. It doesn't really serve no real purpose. You see what I'm saying? But because like saying yes, ma'am, and yes, sir is a matter of respect amongst our culture. And I'll land my plane. But this is a power play to force you to call someone something out of respect that culturally is something you wouldn't respect. So I'm not going to say it's one thing or the other, but it is an amalgamation of several things that creates the problem. Now, Simon, if you're going to respond, please respond to something I say. And don't.
You got 60 seconds, Simon, because it's Marcus' turn.
It's a clean question.
Thank you, Smitty.
All right. Why do you think there's disrespect? Why do you think there's disrespect? It's a clean question.
Can you clarify who and what you're talking about?
What you were speaking about? You're saying there's a level of disrespect. In terms of the relationship building. Did I get that wrong?
No. Fuck all that. Marcus, rock out.
Yeah, let Marcus go.
So you said the question is, do you think this is like a fad or a trend or just a form of sense of belonging to a tribe, is the alphabet community?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like all the way honest, like real upfront. Like this stuff has been around. It's just that right now we have a lot of social media entertainment, and we have a lot of this mainstream advertisement. We have a lot of these just technological advancements to where it's being plastered more to us, and they're receiving benefits even more now to the government to push this kind of stuff more on us, on our children, at the workplace, careers and everything, even in schools. So, yeah, right now it's a more of a benefit and a more of a trend and a fad, but it's this is nothing new. It's like the new virus or infection in a way.
Marcus,
So-
you're chatting shit. Come on. Jesus
I'm being serious. See, whether you like it or not, the facts are the facts. It might hurt your feelings, but it's the truth. I know you're in the UK where they censor you just for having certain words. You can't even have free speech. You have CCTV all over you in the precious little wee old country over there. But it's the truth. It's the truth. So, yeah, man,
Okay.
it's a mixture. It's a multiple formula, multi-headed monster. So that's it. I ain't gonna long-winded, a long stroke like other people.
Okay. All right. Respect. No, I like that. I like that. Gracie, what you got, Gracie?
Okay, I got a lot of mixed feelings about this topic, but I'm gonna have to agree with Lola. Yeah, I know.
Damn.
This is this is, and I'm speaking from experience because I actually thought I was gay at one time, had a girlfriend for 2 years, and lived the life and saw the life. So it's been here forever, guys. It's in the Bible, okay? But there was more discretion back then. We didn't have social media, and it's also part of their agenda. You know, they're planting seeds in our children. They're making children see things that they would never see before. And now, I mean, why does Target have gay pride clothes in the month of June? You're putting things in people's faces now, whereas back then there was discretion. Yes, and now they're passing laws, and now it's getting into part of our life and part of our world. I mean, we don't have to accept it. We can reject it. But I also think it is a fad just be doing something, you know. So I'm gonna have to agree with Lola and say that it's a little bit of everything, but it's getting a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we're convincing kids it's okay to get surgery without really knowing the after effects of this medicine and what it can do to them mentally. So I think we're going down a worse road, if worse is a word. But yeah, I'm gonna stick to Lola and say that it's a little bit of everything right now. It's just being put on Front Street more than ever. I digress. My mic is muted.
Respect. Slab, what you got, Slab? And we can go and get to the next question. Unless somebody got something else to add on to it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been around, man. But I mean, just to keep it 100, it's more fad. And the reason why I say that is when you see people pushing a certain agenda, we're all human beings, you know what I'm saying? So people get curious. So when you start seeing a lot of that, you might want to try it out. Back in the 80s, there was a movie, you know, late 80s, a movie came out called Colors. That movie came out, it was over after that. You got introduced to Bloods and Crips. Later on down the line, it even moved over to the East Coast. When I went to the East Coast back in the 90s, I remember Juice was coming out because Juice was all over the billboards when I was out there. I was out in Jersey and out in Manhattan. They was not on no type of gangbanging, you know what I'm saying? It's already the 90s. But it was just crazy how after I had left and some time went by, boom, there's hoods out there in fucking the East Coast that claim, you know, Bloods and Crips and shit like that. So it's a lot of fad. You know what I'm saying? The tattoos I put on my body, a lot of them fad. Why? Some of the style of the writing I got on my body was a fad. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was getting it. I got it. So I mean, we're just human beings. You know what I'm saying? It could just go down to a lot of different things, man. But I just think when you push certain things out there, and us as human beings, and we see it, especially if you see people that say they're stars or something, and somebody you look up to, bam, they got a scene in a movie or something, and they doing some old other shit. You know what I mean? I mean, all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I say it's more like fad. Yeah, has it been around? Of course it has. But when you put it out there like they do, and that's why I kind of get pissed, man, because I got a kid and shit, and the way they be putting this shit in cartoons, and I mean, you'll fucking trip out, bro. Like,
wait. What's wrong with that? So, like, the thing is like we speak about this stuff like we've never experienced it.
Simon, hold on. Simon, hold on. Let him land his plane. Once you land his plane, I gotta go after that, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you rebuttal whatever you want to rebuttal.
I mean, that was pretty much it, man. I mean, we all know that we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Just in the cartoons and even in the movies, man. That these kids watch now that are animated, you will see it, and they throw it in there. So you know, it is what it is. Go ahead, though, 84. Do your thing, man.
Thank you for that, Slab. Respect. Rock out.
What was the question again? If you may ask it again, please.
You niggas kill me, bro. I don't know where to does everybody leave while I ask one person the question and shit? All right, so here we go. The letter community. Do you see like this uprising of it? Is it more so because the laws have been passed and they're more like liberated? You can do what you want here, right? Is it really that we're seeing this uprising because it's people who really have said, finally, I can openly do this, and we didn't know it was that many of them? Or is it more so a fad? And a lot of people really aren't that. They just feel like, you know what? Finally, I found somewhere I can belong. Join that letter community. Can't nobody say nothing to and or about you. If you even call a woman, I can get you fired from your job type shit. What do you see, so? I digress. My mic is muted.
What I see is what I always see in media, man. They just portray different images that are not actually real. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what happens though. They put a lot of things out there, like they put out that all people of color are either we all gangbangers, we all twerking, we all doing this, doing that. And it's like, nah, a lot of us are in the working class and we're not doing none of that. Like, so I think, you know what I mean? It's the images that they put out there. They try to make you think that everybody's this way or that way or that way or this way, and it's just a kind of creative narrative, right? You know what I mean? So if you never go outside, and I'm always telling you that if you go outside, that there's a monster waiting outside, and I keep telling you that, and there's really no monster, but I keep telling you that you're gonna believe there's a monster outside because I am, and I'll do little things like I may shake the windows a little bit, or I may make a noise and I'm like, oh, that was the monster. You see, it is one outside. Like, you know what I mean? This is what they do. They create narratives that are false, and then they put it out there as if it's true, right? So we just can't believe the hype, man. Don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And for those who are part of the community, salute to them. Much love. I ain't got nothing against them. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I stand on it.
All right. Does anybody have any last pieces on that before we get to
what
this
was
very
your
last
question,
for the
Simon?
night?
Or did Simon leave?
Simon,
He beat feet.
Yeah, he had to go grab another keg.
I did want to say this too, if I may.
Go ahead, Marcus.
It's in their sports too, professional sports, collegiate sports, high school sports. It's in that kind of stuff now. Like that's just invaded with that. And then you have military also being compromised with that kind of stuff. So there's issues like that happening now. And even in the prison system, people that are trying to be gender recognized and pronoun and be labeled as a gender you are not, even though you're trying to get in to a system where like, hey, I'm a man, but I label myself as a woman. Now I can go to a female prison. So now it's stuff like that. It's like crazy and goofy. And then female inmates are getting pregnant by these transformers in prison systems and stuff like that. There's an issue with that too. There's registered sex offenders that are changing themselves to become women, and yet they're still committing these acts. So there's a lot of stuff happening too that's like crazy out in the world right now.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, can I ask Tika a question real quick?
Anything.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Tika,
bro. Rock out.
when you say you got pulled over and they incarcerated you, how long did they have you incarcerated for?
She ain't make it past goddamn processing.
Only a day. It was
Probably.
actually only a full day, but that's very traumatic at 17.
Oh, so you was there for a full 24 hours?
I was there for a full 24 hours.
Did you ever try to do any type of follow up, like try to maybe sue them or something for that?
No, I was way too young and naive and was just really happy to be out of that dirty atmosphere. It was filthy. And I'm used to clean.
I would have sued the shit out of them.
Yeah, most definite.
Yeah, no, like suing them didn't even come to mind. Like if that was to happen now, yeah, sure. But 17, nah.
Oh, so you was a juvenile.
Yeah, I was 17.
Okay.
What's up, people?
So,
all right, Queen.
What's up, Queen?
We got Queen in the building. Did you want to answer the question, Queen?
Yes.
Okay. You know the question, or do I have to reiterate?
Yeah, you can repeat it. I know you know.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's nothing. I've only done it 13 times tonight. So, the question is, the letter community. Do you see the huge uprising of the letter community as something that is more so the laws are passed, they're able to get married, the whole nine, and now we didn't realize it was that many of them? Or do you see it more so it's just a fad and it's a bunch of people that really just want to feel like they belong to something? Because Lord knows you can't say shit about the letter community. I digress. My mic is muted.
You're muted, Queen.
She dropped.
Hey Lola, I just got to tell you something, man. Your whole behavior tonight has just been fucking great. I don't know what's going on, but
I missed it. What happened?
Forth. I mean, you have just really been on great behavior tonight, Lola, and I really appreciate you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. There's a reason for that, but I can't. There's a reason.
You're resting in your femininity, Lola. You're resting in your femininity. I appreciate that.
No, but you keep on talking.
All right, we're gonna get to this last final piece of the evening, and let's go ahead and rock this out. All right, so what I want to know is this from you guys: reputation, and how big is that? How important is reputation? Now, the thing that I want to ask more than anything is track record. How do you see a person that doesn't have the best track record, let's say giving advice, maybe trying to teach and or lead and guide people? The reason why I ask that, I would tell anybody in a heartbeat, I've made quite a bit of mistakes in my life. Matter of fact, more than quite a bit, right? But I definitely have learned from these things, and I now see myself in a position where maybe I can help somebody, steer clear of the pitfalls that I fell at, right, at the time. So when it comes to reputation, and when it comes to a person's track record, how do you all see it as far as someone speaking to the masses? Should they shut up? Or should a person that has mistakes and flaws be allowed to speak and say something in regards to something? perfect example. Let's say, Lola, that time when we were talking about Scrappy, and I don't know, y'all was just going to fuck off about Scrappy and how he shouldn't say shit. All right. I was saying to myself, well, I don't know, maybe did he learn or something? And you guys were head over heels as to why that nigga should not be talking about what he was talking about, considering what it is that he has done in his track record in history. So with that being said, we're going to go on over to Tika first. And we're just going to work our way around the board. Y'all see the order. Hopefully everybody heard the question one good time. If not, I wrote that bitch down. I'll put it in the chat, niggas. All right. Tika, how do you see track record and reputation when it comes to a person giving advice and or leading the masses? Rock out.
Well, in my opinion, I believe that, the wisest people come with track records. They come with troubles. They come with past experiences. Maybe sometimes good and maybe not so good sometimes. So I think that with wisdom, it comes that. So I don't mind that. I think that it would kind of really just, as far as from an advance, from a advice standpoint, it kind of depends on what you've done. To me personally, but you can learn from anyone. It doesn't matter what you've done. You can learn from anyone. But when it comes to advice, it really kind of just depends on what you've done, where I would take you serious. And it'll really depend on how you carry yourself. And this is something I would like to observe, But yeah, as far as reputation, the wisest people, in my opinion, have track records. They've done things bad. They've learned from, grown from. So that's really all I have.
Lola going once. Lola going twice.
She got nothing to say? She got nothing to say? Oh, hell has frozen over? Dear God.
No, hell ain't froze over. Okay, don't get me started tonight, Marcus. Okay.
Wipe your mouth off and say what you got to say, Lola.
Ew.
Y'all don't even know why I'm laughing right now. But anyway,
oh gosh, y'all nasty.
Okay, y'all. Let me speak and stuff. Okay. Okay, here's the thing, right? Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody want to be a leader in something. Everybody want to feel important. Okay. However, it takes a lot of ego death for someone to understand why they are not the person to bear a message, or when they are not qualified to speak on a thing, even if they have lived said experience. They're not, that people don't want to let their ego die when it comes to that. This is why, right? I don't talk about marriage. I don't want to talk about it. I frankly don't even care. I think married people should talk about marriage, and they should stay over there with that. I don't feel the need to give marriage advice. I don't feel the need to take away from people who are giving it. I know that I'm not the person for that. Not at all. You see what I'm saying? But I don't feel like I need to sit and go into a space where the conversation is marriage, or people are married and boast about how much I know about, let's say, long-standing relationships, because I've been in a relationship longer than most marriages. I don't feel the need to do that. I don't need to bear messages in that way over there. I'm not the one to do that. Same thing when it comes to other things, right? But you have to be a certain type of person to understand most circles you find yourself in, you will not be the leader of, nor will you be the messenger that bears the golden message. You just won't. And so right now, you got a lot of people on social media, right, in which the only reason why they're talking is because they have a YouTube, like a Gmail account, and they think that they are a reporter on everything. Like they really do. Everybody wants to report on every fucking thing. And it's like, it's literally, for most of the cases, it's for no apparent reason. It's no real conversation about it. Everybody just think they a photographer or a reporter now. This is the crazy part. So, when it comes to teaching, yeah, there's a lot of people out here that think they're going to teach everybody about something, but really it's because of their own issue within themselves. For instance, you got a lot of people out here like talking about relationship advice. Meanwhile, they are not in any marriages. You know what I mean? Like they're talking about, how to get married, right? Meanwhile, they single as fuck. You understand? You got people out here, trying to give people advice on how to raise kids, right? And they don't got child of hers. I have heard that with my own 2 ears. Like, people don't know basically when to shut the fuck up and let somebody talk that actually is qualified. And everybody know what they qualified to talk about and what they not qualified to talk about. But people got ego issues. But when somebody else comes and check them on that, then they want to claim, oh, you're coming for me. You're attacking me. And it's like, I live in a real world where an attack feels like blunt force trauma. Somebody telling you, hey, you can't really talk on that subject because you haven't been in that. You haven't lived that life. You're not qualified to live that. That's not attacking you. You know what I mean? But everybody feels the need to sit and, give advice and get paid for being a coach or some shit. And all I'm saying is, listen, if there's always going to be sheep out there. It is. So I ain't even knocking the hustle. But if the question is, what's the issue? People don't feel important in their private lives. So they come on social media or wherever they come to get validation as something, even if that something is an entire lie. But that's what they're doing. Like, that's where it's coming from.
Hold on, Lola. So you telling me you don't believe in self-help instructors? You don't believe in our world's motivational speakers and things of that nature? You're telling me that they're all just a fraud and a hustle?
Most are. But what I'll say about self-help stuff is this, right? There's some people you can tune into on a social platform where they'll be speaking to you from a real world perspective, right? In terms of their experience. And it's just a matter of sharing their experience and what they learn, similar to what I do on one of my other channels. I don't give people advice, but I share my experience and I talk about my experience and the things I learned in my own experience. I'm never giving anybody advice because you're an adult. You know what you can learn a lesson by watching a bus go by and a message written on that joint. You can learn a lesson through that. Nobody has to tell you, hey, this is the lesson you should be learning and this is how you should do some shit. No, we all adults here, okay? So I would have to err on that side. There's a few that are good to go in terms of listening to and gaining some information from that is helpful. But for the majority of them, no, it's an ego problem.
Okay, all right, respect. Marcus, what you got for that?
To be honest, bro, can you repeat the question? I know. Give it to me. You're gonna give me some shit. I'm ready to take it. Pause. Pause. Go ahead. Repeat the question. Go ahead. Take out your frustration.
Nigga, I wasn't playing with you.
Take a shot.
I wasn't playing with you, niggas. Take your ass to the chat. Send a chat.
Got you.
We'll wait for Marcus.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm resting my masculinity. How do you see a person with a bad track record giving advice? Oh, well, yeah, that's the case, and it's simple. You look at the pattern of behavior and the pattern of work, and if it's not a good domino effect, I'm not gonna look at you with substantial like wisdom to give me. It's just the way that majority won't see it, If it's definitely broke, it ain't gonna get fixed, So, yeah, man, that's it. I don't really hold too much salt or too much weight to those,
Okay. Okay. Nah, you good. You good. Hey, perfect. Hey, beautiful, beautiful. We wrapping it up. Slab, what you got? What you got? Because we all know Soap has to be the oh so fabulous one who comes in, color people time late.
He filet mignons it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. There we go. Baby back ribs it. Yep. There we go.
That's right.
Kind of how I see it, bro. Like, just to keep it 100. I want to hear all the bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear the ringer stories, like everything. You feel me? But also, what you said though, for me to build though from that, you feel me? Like, I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna give me game, because that's gonna help me stay away from making those type of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But for me to really take heed on what you saying, as in, like, he done fucking grew from this shit, is like you said, man, like you took the steps, and you know what I'm saying, you redeemed yourself. I can't sit up here and listen to somebody that's done been through the ringer and they just still going through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, man.
Right.
I'm just associating with J Cats at that point. But I mean, yeah, I want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear all of that. But then I also want to hear, you know what I'm saying, how you pulled through it and championed through all that shit. You know what I'm saying? See, me, I come from, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I come from doing a lot of little programs and shit just because of some of the cases I done caught. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of be forced into being in situations to where I got to take these type of classes. You know what I'm saying? And I just noticed that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit, out there, man. And if you hear some of these stories, man, and people really listen to them, it may make you think a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
But Slab, look, right? It's like this real quick. It's like, for example, one thing I noticed, like, let's just take a small example. In our spaces, I've heard many times, the men and the women, both. It ain't no gender specific. I've heard the men and the women say, if you're not married, you shouldn't talk about relationships and or marriage. Shit like that. Or if you've been divorced, if if things didn't work out for you with your relationship, what makes you qualified? Or we are real quick to ask a person, where's your degree? Are you a specialist in this? So that's where I'm really at with it. And a lot of times we will say these things due to a person's maybe history. But go ahead, rock out.
No, I agree, man. But I also think sometimes life throws you through a lot of things, man, to where your game is way more superb than a specialist, man, because they ain't been through what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I was getting at when I said I was kind of forcing some of these programs I had to endure and shit, and hearing these stories, it's just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So it just makes you kind of just open your eyes and shit. But I just think that the main thing is pulling out of it. You know what I'm saying? Your reputation is your reputation, man. I don't think anybody should be ashamed of it, because, like I say, if you grow from it, that's dope as fuck, man. It makes the story that much even better. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it, man.
So, what you got for us?
I know Grace went to the back. I don't know if she's gonna come back up, but yes.
You eating cereal?
No, I'm not eating cereal. Not right now. I'm about to eat me some hella good burger, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
hey, what's your cereal, bro? What's the cereal you like, 84? You always talk about cereal.
That nigga likes bird feed tasting type shit. That nigga likes whole wheat raisin, cucumber
are you like
dried.
A sweet cereal type of dude, or are you more of a grain type of dude? Like, what's your cereal, bro?
Honey bunches of oats.
No, I don't eat regular cereal. So I eat a lot of organic cereal. So I do like Kashi, like Sprouts brands, things like that. Very organic, healthy stuff. So yeah, that's what I rock with.
You need to give marriage advice.
Do you use milk?
No, I use almond milk.
Okay, for sure.
He said, "Do you use milk?"
No, I ain't messing with the milk, man. So Before I get my take, Braxton says, I fully agree.
Not at all. You see what I'm
on
saying?
that is,
but I don't feel like I need to sit.
oh, somebody mic on?
The conversation is marriage. Okay.
Oh shit! The damn computer's playing. It just came on out of nowhere.
It's all good. So Braxton
that
says,
was
I fully
Lola's
agree on
voice.
that. Yeah, no, I fully agree on that. If someone don't have any legit verified qualification or anything, they don't need to be saying anything much. Okay, to say anything much. Okay, so listen, I think you can learn from someone's mistakes as well as their triumphs, right? So yeah, I can learn from somebody who's doing well and who's
That's
making
true.
it happen and who has done it the right way. But I can also learn from somebody who's effed up and is willingly admitting the effing up and saying, "Hey, these are the ways I went wrong." But sometimes even in our mess ups, I think also nobody comes in this stuff. Most times already trying to mess something up. A lot of times there's different things that happen within your life that kind of leads to the results. Um, and then sometimes we get in situations where we don't really know how to handle it, so we just kind of start making decisions. And when that happens, then it can actually be some decisions that are not the best. You know what I mean? But if we feel like if sometimes we can feel trapped in certain things, even though we're not trapped, but we can feel like we're trapped, right? So we get in a mindset where it's like, man, I feel like nobody's here, or I feel like nobody cares, right? You know what I mean? And that's not really the case. People do care. You know what I mean? People are, you know what I'm saying? People do understand where you're at. But, we have to understand that at times, like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just we get tunnel vision, right? Because we feel that pressure. So once we feel that pressure, you know what I mean? Boom, that tunnel vision kicks in, and we're not able to see our right from our left. You know what I mean? So we get in fight or fright mode. You know what I mean? The adrenaline comes in, so it takes away our way of just kind of like looking at it in a conscious level and making decisions that actually make sense. You know what I mean? Braxton listens to cereals. He says Frosted Mini Wheats, Honey Bunches of Oats, Frosted Cheerios, Special K. Okay, but yeah, that's my answer to the question. So yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Does anybody else have any last touches on that?
A smart
Going
man
once?
learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns through others.
I like that. Beautiful classic right there. Okay, now we'll go ahead and go around the board and get our final thoughts. Top Flight, what you got? Final thoughts.
I just want to say thanks everybody for having me today. I am very grateful for that. And lastly, I just want to say Black Power. And that's all.
Okay. All right. We got the fist in the air. Lola, Last Dragon, what you got? Okay, apparently Lola has a mouthful again. Marcus, what you got?
Again, hell has frozen over. No, I appreciate you letting me up on the panel. Great convo. Yeah, man, just dope, and go Ravens. And AFC Championship, baby, let's go next Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Y'all see, I'm over here struggling. Stop
Look,
It's all right. Struggle stream. Keep struggle streaming, Lola. It's all right.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
I'm sending you, Lola. I'm sending you some Latin love from here. All right. I'm sending you some Latin love.
What you got, Lola? Final thoughts.
Okay. Final thought is I appreciate having better conversations on this channel, on this show. Shout out to you, good people. I think that is to hear conversations that is more insightful than some other conversations that we see on other channels. And I think it's quite healthy, even if we, let's say, fight over it a bit much more than what I'm comfortable with. But, like the conversation earlier in terms of Black people's suffrage, we may differ on that all day, but I think it's a good thing to bounce ideas off each other in that way. But I do appreciate y'all coming up with these conversations and topics that challenge people's thinking, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, shit. Thank you for that. That shit is very much so touching when I hear people say things such as that. So nah, real shit. All jokes aside, thank you. Slab, what you got for us?
Shit, man, I appreciate y'all, man. It was a good conversation. Lola's behavior was fucking phenomenal. You know, 2000.
She can rest in femininity, Slab. Yes, she can.
Yeah, she was on point.
Finally.
I hope she does this shit a little bit more often, man. It's a good look. But I
Ray,
appreciate.
don't go. See.
I'm just giving you your flowers.
See, when I try to give y'all femininity, y'all want me to be a dragon. When I give you the dragon, you want a feminine flower. I don't know what to do anymore.
I'm trying to uplift you, to be honest
You know,
with you. I'm not
yeah. Don't you want your shrimp, Lola? I'm trying to give you some shrimp. It's all right.
Hey, Smitty, you see this? You see?
I'm just listening.
Watch.
I'm listening.
Watch it up, baby. Watch
I'm
it
right
up,
here.
baby.
Yeah,
What's up, Watts? Come on, Watts.
Watts is there.
They don't.
Shut up. Y'all stop it.
They don't want me doing the right thing. This is why I can't get past them right now, right here.
No, you doing the right thing, Lola. Let me finish what I was saying though. Because now you're starting to be that Lola again. I mean, that shit you about to ruin it.
Don't even go there. You don't go there.
Shout out to the feminism. Shout out to the feminism.
But no, man, I appreciate y'all. And it was a dope stream, man. And I really appreciate rocking with y'all, man. That's all.
Okay, now. So, what you got, man? Before I go ahead and cut this thing loose.
Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
All right.
Who did that? Russell Simmons. Yeah.
Crazy.